Still teetering on the edge of an uncertain future, but now, with copious amounts of gold and treasure on board their stolen ship, Brixton's bunches they have come to be known, Dwarven Rune Knight Adrik Fogdar, Elven Cleric of the Daughters of Twilight, Gudael Dala Talandaran, the dashing young Elven Celestial Warlock, Leith Mystralath, the portly wizard Baron Edren Montkoff, and of course the rogue and scoundrel himself, Milford Brixton, have arrived at the Isle of Shadows. Having escaped the infamous High Lord Inquisitor of the Barachiel Envoy, Vorbis Daal Rennaz, Brixton and associates have made their way inland in a stolen treasure ship with the assistance of the foreman, Zandor Rem, who has become one of them. Heading deep into the Elven territory by river and closer to the purview of the Black Guard, the personal militia of King Ivran Erothani, the Usurper King, Leith Mystralath has promised the group sanctuary on a mystical island inhabited by a faction known to him as the Servants of the Fox. But the depths of Lockhart Lake have begun calling to the older wizard Edren in a way that he is most uncomfortable with, and the inhabitants of the Isle, who claim to be the supporters of the true High King of Sidarhael, have yet to prove themselves to Brixton and his friends. Among these supporters is Leith's personal mentor and ally, Lord Imral Maith Elasadril, an ancient elf entwined in the very history of Sidarhael itself, a planeswalker and archmage, but Milford Brixton is not so easily impressed or swayed. If he is to give allegiance to the Servants of the Fox, he is of the mind to test the young King Bragan to see if he is worthy of his trust. To this end, Brixton has angered his new host and potential ally and stands on the verge of exile or punishment. Will the hopeful future King of Sidarhael forgive Milford Brixton? Will he forgive his transgressions, or will there be blood? There seems to be no turning back now for Brixton's bunch. Welcome to the Vaingate Chronicles. I'm Russell Kirkby, and I'd like to introduce Barry Tahira as Milford Brixton, the infamous rogue himself.
Hello, people.
Thank you, Barry. Here is Steve Austin, not the Bionic Man, but in fact Leith Mystralath.
Hey, everyone.
We have Joanna Grotenhouse as Gudael Dala Talandaran. Try and say that fast, I dare you.
Gudael Dala Talandaran.
There you go. And Max Easy as Baron Montkoff.
Hello.
What's your full name, Max? What's your character's full name?
Full name, Baron Edren Krilinowicz Montkoff.
There you go. Nothing short of a sentence. And we have Michael Bache as Adrik Fogdar.
Hello there, people. How are you doing?
Right. So, having arrived on the Isle of Shadows with your treasure ship recently, and having gotten into some terse negotiations with the inhabitants, you fellows, ladies and gentlemen, have wandered off into the inner part of the island, into the inland area, among what are actually marshes and some wetlands, and you managed to find a solid spot, which Edren has managed to lay down in and block out all of the water from his fear of deep water. There's a name for this fear. What is it, Max?
Thalassophobia.
Thalassophobia. See, not only are we entertaining, we are educational.
Comes from the Greek word for thalassa, meaning sea.
There you go. There you go. As opposed to mare, Latin, for the same thing. But anyway, that's just the limits of my ancient languages coming right there.
We're just full of the big words tonight.
Full of big words, and that's not all we're full of. Right. So, Milford, you've caught up with this group. Everyone's been hanging out for some time now out in the forest where there were mushrooms. We don't know whether our characters have been imbibing of any toxic mushrooms or not. That's entirely between them, and we'll just leave that out of game. But they come wandering back in towards the campsite a little time later, I expect. And I'm passing it over to you guys if you're in conversation or if you're just walking quietly and silently.
So do you cook them or do you just go eat them raw?
What are you talking about?
These mushrooms, do you just go whole hog raw, or do you cook them? Is there a good way to do it?
Do you know they're actual mushrooms and not toadstools?
You know, I can't tell. To be fair, in the mountains, they're usually stuck to walls. They look completely different, so I can't tell if these are good or not.
If they're the wrong kind, you'll know about it, I'll tell you.
Oh, what? Like you know, city boy.
Oh, city boy, is it? Well, I don't
Yeah.
know about city boy. I've pretty much become a sailor.
Oh, and all of a week. Well done. Did you do any rowing? Or was it just me and the big guy over there?
Hey, I don't row.
Then what sailing were you doing?
It hurts my delicate hands, you know.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
And
Do you want me to massage them for you?
Speaking of delicate hands, now, what are you lot doing? Because I want to say something, so everybody listen, will you? Whatever the prince does with me, don't you lot do any heroics, you understand?
What do you think the king will do with you?
Oh, he could do anything. I was a mite rude, I'll admit. You know, and I'm on his kingdom, you might as well say. He could have me executed. You know. But, you know, if that comes about, I've already thought of 6 ways to get out of there.
I suspect he could have all of us executed if he wanted to, just for basically breathing.
Oh, I don't think he'll execute you lot, because you lot haven't got big mouths like me. But, you know, this is the way it goes. I don't want any of you to play heroics. Okay?
No promises.
Perception checks from everybody, please.
Perception.
That is a 23 for me.
Oh, sorry, I rolled it twice by accident. The first one was a 19.
All right. Well, okay. Let's see. What else do we get here? 17. Milford, you're talking, so obviously you're not looking or thinking or listening. So that makes sense. A big 4 from Milford Brixton. Okay, so a very strong 23 and a 20 and a 17 from the others. That leaves somebody else. Adrik, what were you doing?
I got a 19.
You got a 19, did you say?
Yes.
But it says you rolled a 4.
No, I was pressing the space bar because I thought I was in the thing to unmute myself. The one above that is a 19.
Sounds like a cool story. Zach, does Michael cheat a lot like this on your podcast as well?
How dare you? We have the blockchain in front of us.
The blockchain, yes. So anyhow, what you notice, those of you that rolled above 4, is that there is another large tent that's been set up down by the beach next to the boat. And you see a large group of people, essentially the crew that you brought with you to the secret island, milling around that tent and getting fed.
You know, we weren't really thinking about the crew when we got off, did we? I'm glad they're getting taken care of.
No, I suppose we've been rather thoughtless.
Well, they did seem to be organized on water, so I imagine they do have their own organization when it comes to landing as well. But yes, it's a good point. We didn't very much think about that, did we?
Speaking of, has anyone seen Zandor?
You do see Zandor. He's among those people.
Oh, thank God! I thought he got eaten.
Well, he is technically their leader.
Well, something. Who knows what's around these parts? For all we know, Bragan ate him.
He does seem a bit fierce, but I'm not sure he's a cannibal.
Hey, look, it's not a large island. You get what you can find, unless you're willing to eat mushrooms. And I don't know if these are safe.
It's seems we may be in need of a ranger.
Haven't
If
we already
only.
had this discussion about mushrooms?
Or at least a chef.
Oh, I'm sure I can ask Bragan's chef. That should go down well. So, are these safe or do you eat people?
In the distance, you can hear thwack, poof, whack, on guard, thwack, poof, smack, echo of metal on wood.
That sounds like someone's training. Russell, what time of day and or night is this?
It's about 4 in the afternoon now.
Okay, brilliant. It's a bit late for training, isn't it?
I'm gonna go and have a nosy.
Oh, not on your own, you're not. You get in too much fucking trouble around these parts.
Oh, me? I don't know what you're talking about.
You almost got yourself executed. I'm not letting you out of my sight.
I agree with Adrik. I think we should stick together.
I might have already got myself executed.
Well, then all the more reason you'll need other people around.
Oh, by the way, while
what
we're
have you
at
done?
it, I was thinking about a will. What do
All
you
my
fellas
money
want?
goes to Adrik. That's very kind of you.
Hold your money. I'm not giving you all my money.
I don't see why not.
I could give it to other people as well, like
You could, but
Gudael
why wouldn't you
here.
give it to me?
I could give it to the Gudael.
Why are you being so morbid? Why do you think something bad is going to happen? We're very much safe here.
Well, can't you hear whack, smack, bang?
Whoever that is,
doing
I'm sure
something.
they're just working out some tension, or
You
Maybe
sure
they're just
not
training.
practicing taking my head off? Yep. No.
they need a much thinner stick for that.
Oh, very funny.
I
Oh,
know.
you're a man of humor, you are.
I'm many things, Brixton.
Ooh. Are you gonna write anything about me?
Was
My
a
lord.
bastard, is no longer. That's quick.
Not
to the point.
you. Not you. I'm talking about him over there. Him, buddy, writing over there.
Is this directed at me?
It's directed at you. I want you to tell him how handsome I looked.
Don't ask the man to lie.
Right.
It's non-fiction.
Talking about yourself in the past tense like that.
And all the heroic things I did,
Don't leave out the ogre.
Oh yes,
Oh, no, you can
that's
leave that
definitely in
out.
there.
We don't-
Oh,
no,
it's
no,
already
no.
down in ink. I've already sent it and all.
Oh,
However, in all seriousness, I'm more than happy to help write up a will in case of any accidental or demise. But hopefully that doesn't encourage you to do something stupid while we're on this island.
I never do anything stupid.
That's objectively a subjective opinion.
I just make the odd mistake,
I just feel that writing anything like that is maybe asking for disaster.
Well, not true, but it's also preventing further disasters occurring from other disaster. You don't want a chain reaction of discourse and confusion to happen amongst people.
That's
Not that to say
right.
that would happen to us, but there might be other people out there who think they deserve a little bit of Brixton.
Well, should anything ever happen to me, just send everything I own to my brother, Ren.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Well, hopefully nothing's going to happen here.
So whereabouts are you guys actually walking to presently?
I believe we're walking to the training yard.
Well, nobody stopped me from walking to the training yard. So
And
I-
as
We're
you
just-
turn
we're
the
just
corner
accompanying
between
him.
you turn the corner between the tents, next to where the training yard is, and up ahead you can see Bragan in the distance, standing on the field, training with a wooden dummy. You see several other wooden dummies lined up in a line across the other side of the training yard, and you see big chunks of stone poking up out of the earth and the grass among the trees. These huge monolithic pieces of stone that couldn't possibly have been naturally sort of produced there. They must have been placed there somehow. In fact, as you're looking at this plane, you see that there's actually a huge big square of stone, like a massive slab in the center of this space that you could literally stand on. It's about 2 to 3 feet high. It's on a very slight slant, so it's not flat. And Bragan's whacking this dummy way over there. And as you guys come around the corner and you behold this imagery, the half-orc Thorn Garkai steps out from around the corner with 6 soldiers, and they bar the way. "Ah, the strangers, our newcomers. You looking to train, Brixton?" She pokes her spear in your direction.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
"You want to train alone, or do you wish to train with my men?"
Oh, look, I'm not really a sword player. I'm more a card player. But I'd give it a go.
Give it a go.
I'd give it a go. I'd probably disappoint you awfully.
She adjusts her helmet. "You cannot disappoint me, Brixton."
Oh, I'm sure I can. I keep doing it with everybody else.
"Oh, but my expectations are so low already."
Oh, you did say it was your men I was gonna practice with, not you.
"Come then.
I mean,
And you others, you wish to train too?
I don't see why not.
You've come to these fields.
Well, we heard the thwacking and the grunts and all that, so we came to check. But why not? We spent weeks on a boat, guys.
She looks over her shoulder at Bragan training for a moment and glances back to you. "Very well, come." And she takes you around the corner out among the field. Now, I'm going to try and see whether I can get this camera up. There it is. Beautiful. Everybody's in the right place. Look at that. So here we have Bragan. And this is Brixton's bunch. Dun, 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 dun. Remarkable. Remarkable. There you go. Now, let's see if this camera goes any closer.
Excuse me, Leith. Do you know what this place is with all these stones everywhere?
Leith takes a look. Do I know
What's the question?
what the stones are?
Leftover Asturian relics.
I would say that they're artifacts from the Asturian Empire. This is where I've seen a lot of these kind of things before.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Adrik, you
Quite
read Giant.
interesting.
Do you suppose there's some runes or something about that we could read?
Almost certainly. Where the clearing we were, it turns out that, in particular, was a now completely useless lunar calendar, considering the 7 remnant of the moon.
Yes.
This might be something attached to that, considering the size. But it could be its own thing. Given a little bit of time to study it, I could probably figure out what it is.
All right, so would you like to make a history check, Adrik?
There's nothing I would love more.
Literally nothing.
There are a handful of things I'd like more. 22.
22.
I know
Adrik
everything
knows
about these
everything.
runes.
You know everything about this. Okay, well, there's not a lot of runes on it, to be clear and to be sure, but
No runes?
somebody did mention that there was a wall that ran through the center of this island. And just to give you a bit of a gist of that, This is a map of the island,
Yeah.
and you guys are kind of there. There's a little tent they're made of crayon, and there's like I don't know. I did
Wow,
this
it's-
one weekend.
It's
And
beautiful.
There's this whole island, the Isle of Shadows, you see, and it's got this wall that goes right through the middle of the island. This giant wall, and then it goes into the sea on both sides, or into the lake, I should say, on either side of the island. And these chunks of stone are bits of leftover wall, you surmise.
Well, I'm of the opinion this is a particularly this is a giant wall. Now,
Yeah.
it's both large, as in giant, and also of the giants. So it's a giant wall.
True. Correct.
That would make a lot of sense, yes.
And so this
But
platform
I wonder
here
what they were dividing it for.
is a bit of an angle, not 45, sort of maybe 20 degrees. So you come wandering through there, and Thorn says, "Who would you like to challenge first, Brixton? Which of these fine men?" There are 5 of them there.
I'll take that one there on the left.
All right. So, Brixton, this is you. You've got a bow, but you don't have a bow. You've got 2 short swords. Hopefully people can see this. It's not too awfully blurry. Do you like my massive camera crane? Isn't that amazing? It's like a crane shot. Okay, so you're there, and we need an adversary.
Such a beautifully flowing shot.
This will do. Okay, so you're on the stone wall thing. You step up onto it, I assume, and the first of these adversaries steps up. And you're going to roll initiative.
All of us?
No, just Brixton.
Okay.
And my camera has frozen because that's what it likes to do. More than anything in the world, that's what my camera likes to do. It's doing that thing again. Ah,
Hit it
terrifying.
again.
did it
Well,
again.
What was that? What happened the last time this happened? His head was twisting around or something. They're awful.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So, Brixton, what's your initiative? 8. A big, fat, hairy 8. All right, Brixton. So, this guard essentially is wearing what looks to you like chainmail and plate armor and a long cloak with a long sword at one side and a shield in her arm. She draws the long sword and salutes. She has a plume on her helmet, and she straightens up her helmet, and she settles into a position. And what are you doing at this point? Press to talk. Nope, no sound.
While she's settling,
Yep.
I will use dash and move to the left of her.
So you're going to try and go boom, boom over here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm not going to cheat. It's just I feel more comfortable with
Right.
her
okay.
coming to me, not me coming to her.
Right. Well, funnily enough, as you're about to use dash, she suddenly flings herself at you and takes a swipe. But you step to the side, and she hits the stone floor, and her blade shatters in half. And literally the top half of her blade just breaks, And she looks down at her blade and looks back up at you and steps back. And she looks at her other compatriots as if, like, what's going on? Is he cheating? And they look back at her, and everybody looks at you, Brixton. What do you say? Anything?
Someone rolled a 1. Someone rolled a 1.
Yes, they did. It was a miraculous one. Yes, yes, it was.
I'll say...
And welcome, Stardust Sam.
I'm sorry about that. Would you like to get up and try again?
She looks around, and one of her compatriots passes her a new longsword, which she takes, and then she settles back down into position once more. Would you like to roll initiative again, Barry?
Diggy. Initiative. And we'll try that again.
23. All right, you can roll a hit, mate. You can do exactly what you said you were going to do last time if you so desire.
Okay. All right. I will. Where is she? I'll use my short sword.
Yeah.
And I will...
1 or 2 short swords?
2. I've made it obvious that I've got 2.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll take the attack on her.
All right, so you leap in there using your movement. 5,
16.
10, 15 feet of movement. You get to here, you take it to the side, you roll 16 to hit.
Yep.
That actually doesn't hit. It
Okay.
almost hits, but it does not hit.
The other one?
She guards with her shield. Right, come in with your other sword, your offhand attack. 24. That most certainly catches her by surprise. You can roll your damage. Now, I'm assuming we're doing non-lethal damage, but that's...
Non-lethal.
Okay. Very good. Roll your damage, please.
So it's a small one, isn't it?
Yep, and without the additional strength bonus on the end of it.
Okay. D6.
D6?
Yeah.
Right.
Hang on. Oh, I've got the wrong thing, sorry. D, yep. Go. 6.
6. Very good. Okay. That definitely hurts her. She comes back at you. What's your armor class, mate?
My armor class is 18.
18. She hits you. And she does a non-lethal 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay. She tries to hit you again. She misses. It is your turn. What would you like to do? She has,
Okay.
by the way, turned to face you at this point.
Right. Okay, she's turning to face me or actually... She's turning to face me or actually facing me?
She has turned to face you.
Okay,
That's
sorry
how she,
about this.
That's how she guarded you.
Okay, I'm gonna use... I'm just gonna attack with short swords.
All right, roll to hit. $21. Very good. That hits. Damage 7. Nice. Okay.
And my next one...
Yep.
8. missed.
Okay. Yeah, she parries that fairly easily and comes swinging back at you and hits you for 5 points of non-lethal damage. What are you up to now? 5 plus 3. Can someone just keep track of Barry's damage so far? I think it's 7 so far.
Okay.
That he's
Thank-
taken or dealt?
Yeah,
Plus
that he's
3 is
that he's
8.
taken. Yeah, is it 8? Is it?
Yep.
Okay, so he's taken 8. All right, and then her second attack, she misses. Barry, what do you do?
I use her... How does she miss, can I ask?
She goes to swing towards your head. You duck under it, sidestepping it, and then you do something.
I parkour and kick her in the back of the head with both my feet.
You cannot do that.
Okay.
There's
All
nothing
right.
literally to parkour off of.
Okay. Okay.
There's no vertical surfaces here.
Okay. All right. I'll just attack her again.
All right, roll to hit. In other game systems, you would be rewarded for such intelligent gameplay. In Dungeons and Dragons, however, you will simply be penalized for your imagination.
Okay, missed one.
Yep. And 25
25.
does hit. Very good. Damage, please.
Okay. What was that?
Everybody else can make a perception check.
12.
12 points of damage. Okay, you knock her out of the ring, and she trips over and falls to the ground. Over here, that's you, sorry. She trips over and falls off the ring over here. And gets back to her feet, dusting herself off, and she bows.
I bow back with my eyes looking at her.
She takes off her helmet and throws it in the dust. She passes the longsword back to her compatriot. Her compatriot says, "I'll take a swing at you, Brixton."
I'd be honored.
But Thorn stops him, and she says, "Perhaps you would like to take a swing at one of these others? Any other volunteers among you?"
Oh, I don't see why not. Why should I let Brixton have all the fun?
All right. So, Brixton, do you stand down?
Yes.
All right. Adrik, you step up. Brixton stands down. A new magical guard steps in from over here. All right. Initiative for you, please.
Fantastic. That there is the best initiative roll of Adrik's game ever. That's going to be a 19.
That was a 19. All right. And you go first, please. Roll to hit, or whatever it is that you're planning to do.
Fantastic. I am going to... How far away is he from me?
10 feet at the most. But
10 feet. I am going to...
got 10 feet to close from the edge of the arena.
I almost never use magic, and I haven't had a chance to use it. But you know what? I want to use this. I'm going to use Lightning Lure. Let me see. Create a lash of lightning at strikes 15 feet. So I'm going to succeed on a strength saving throw. We pulled 10 feet in a straight line towards you. Okay, so I need him to make a strength saving throw against DC of 12.
Fail.
Well, fantastic. He gets pulled 10 feet towards me, and he takes 1d8 lightning damage.
All right, do your d8. Oh, lightning damage. Oh, that's not non-lethal.
Well, I didn't think of that. Well, I mean, it's
all right, and when you do, he falls on his ass, lets go of his sword, scrambles to his feet, looks around, and Thorn steps in and puts her hand in the middle of your chest and looks at you. "What are you doing?"
I was having that gentle spar.
"Careful, dwarf.
Oh, that wouldn't have hurt the lad.
You've
Look at
already
him.
done that. No more of this magic. You keep your dwarf magic out of this."
Technically giant magic, but point taken.
Did
I think
everybody
if-
roll perception checks? They did, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Adric got a 7 on that.
Edren and Adrik, you'll notice that Bragan is casually walking over to this area and is taking up position kind of behind you guys. Over here. Oh, you can't see. Over here. Ding. Bragan. Okay. "Try again, dwarf. No magic this time."
All right, no problem. Terribly sorry.
All right.
Beg your pardon, Thorn. I'll be standing by for healing should it be needed.
She nods and smiles to you. "Very well. Then, begin!" All right, so you're first again. You got the initiative.
I'm going to ready. I'm going to take the dodge action and to the gentleman. I screwed up a second ago. I'll let you have your go.
This warrior begrudgingly attacks you. First attack just misses you. You easily sidestep it. Second attack also just misses you.
A valiant attack, well done.
What is your armor class? Just out of curiosity, I need to just check that anyway.
I've got my shield up and this is my
19.
warhammer.
Right.
So 19, yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Your turn.
Fantastic. Okay, so Adrik's gonna have a wee swing at her with a 26.
Hit. Very nice.
Okay, that's 1d8 plus 5. That's a total of 13 damage.
13. Okay, and you knock this one to the ground. You basically just trip him over with your hammer. You pull his legs out from under him and slam him on the ground non-lethally.
None of this is lethal.
Yes. And he essentially taps out.
I'm gonna walk over to him and pull my hand out to pull him up.
All
You
right.
did very, very well.
He gingerly walks off the slab. And Thorn says, "Who else wishes to challenge my warriors?" And Bragan steps onto the ring at that point and walks around to here. He says, "I will challenge you. I'll challenge both of you."
The both of us. Yeah, as you wish. Brixton, how are you feeling? Another round? Barry, you're silent.
Push to talk.
Oh, yes. I'd be an honor.
All right. So Brixton steps on. Let's get rid of him.
Your lordship, would you be okay if I no lightning, of course. I understand that now. But if I tried a little bit harder, gave you something you may not expect.
I will match you for magic, spell for spell.
All right, that sounds reasonable. This is all fun and games, of course. We got Gudael to take care of any injuries.
Of course, of course.
Lovely.
Now, where's my mouse gone? Do.
Out of game. Adrik at some point needs to have like a ladder installed onto his shield, so Brixton can just like grab on and parkour off of it and shit.
Right. One moment, please.
Can Brixton also do some fancy like backflips and things like that?
Brixton can parkour. He does have some acrobatics, but he can't jump over people. He's not a ninja.
Okay.
Though at level 20, he does get a premium class called the Power Ranger.
Right. Where is my stat block?
That's still not a ninja.
Still not a ninja. So do we get initiative from you guys, please?
Yes. Sorry.
From everyone or just Brixton
just
and
Brixton
Adrik?
and Adrik. I mean, you can roll 2 if you want to add heals in there, just in case.
Oh yes, please.
But I'm not sure it will be required.
6.
Right.
Stardust Sam, Adrik is a proficient in smithing tools, so I'm just gonna get like metal rungs and metal smith them onto my shield.
And Max, what kind of glue do you need to stick
Oh shit,
a
also
ladder?
true.
I was just saying that, and I realized I was muted. We also do have that sovereign glue. So
This is true. That'd be much
This is
easier than me
also
going.
true.
All right, well, this hold. I suppose. Now, how do I get it on? Where will I find fire in this godforsaken island?
Right. So,
there's me with just like a paintbrush.
are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Alright.
already rolled my initiative.
So what positions are you taking?
I think Adrik will just square up in front of him. There's no need to flank him.
Okay. So you've got Bragan in the corner. Over here.
Oh, I see.
We've got Milford over here, if he wants to remain there. Now is your chance to put your character where you want to be at the beginning of this fight.
Adric's going to go in the center.
All right. That's as close to the center as I can put you because there's an even number of squares.
In my brain, it's perfectly centered.
Okay. All right then. All right. In the approximation, unfortunately, it's not, but all right. Brixton, where are you going to be? Next to him? Push to talk.
I go up to Adrik and I go, bend down and put your shield up so I can bounce off your shield.
Not a problem. And I'll give you another surface you can work on.
Okay.
Adrik does so.
All right. So, Adrik, you're basically readying an action, is that right?
I think he's just kneeling and he has a shield prepared. Well, this is pre-combat, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so that.
Okay, so let's just get this clear. The initiative order was Brixton is an 18.
Yeah.
Adrik is a 6.
Yep.
And Gudael is a 16. So we've got Brixton, Gudael, Bragan, and Adrik. Okay, that's the order. Okay, Brixton. Adrik takes his position.
Okay.
Everybody's looking at each other very tensely for a long moment.
I'm behind him,
Mm-hmm.
ready to make my run.
Hey Barry, can you frame yourself up? We can't see your beautiful face in
Yep.
the stream.
We need the visage of Brixton.
All right. You see me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, what do you want me to roll? I gotta roll acrobatics, don't I?
You do need to roll an acrobatics check. Yep.
Yeah. This might be my last day on Earth. Okay, here we go. And with 17?
Nice. Is that your total roll?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Okay.
That puts you in the air.
Yep.
You're here. Right, roll to hit.
Right. Roll to hit.
Yeah.
Right. Roll to hit, he says. And will I hit? Oh, fuck. My thing's gone. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. My thing went away.
What do you need to... Is it your short swords?
Yeah, short sword. Sorry, my
I am going to roll for
Here.
you.
disappeared.
Okay, so it's with +5, 16. Unfortunately, that does not hit. So your second attack with your other short sword comes in. Similarly with a 16, and Bragan parries both of those blows. Gudael, do you do anything on this turn? You don't need to, do you?
Nah, no one's hurt just yet.
Okay.
I was wondering if Gudael could bless people, but I think maybe in a sparring situation, she wouldn't think that was...
Probably not appropriate.
No.
Yeah. Okay. However, that being said, Bragan casts Hunter's Mark on Brixton with a bonus action. Brixton. Okay. All right.
No place to hide either, is there?
Then he attacks you with his great sword, but misses. Comes swinging at you, Brixton. Now it is Adric's turn.
Could I drop my let go of my warhammer and my shield to pull out the hammer of thunderbolts that I've never used?
Okay.
Because I've seen he's got a big whip. I'm like, why not?
All right.
Cool. So just so everybody knows, that brings my 8, because I've let go of my shield. AC is now 17.
All right.
Brilliant. So Hammer of Thunderbolts. Bonus action first, as I stride up to him, I'm going to become large.
All right. So each step that Adrik takes as he crosses the field makes him another foot taller.
All of 5 steps into a 10-foot ogre-like beast.
Right.
And I'm going to bring my hammer down on him.
All right. Very good. Roll 2 hits.
I am become large, destroyer
25.
of kings.
Yes. What's
That's
the
a
roll?
25.
25. You hit with a 25.
Fantastic. So that's 2d6. That is a total of 11, plus my big, huge, and large damage.
He tries to guard you, but the hammer just slides down the sword, the two-handed sword, and bounces off his shoulder.
Cool. That is a total of 15 damage in that for that first attack.
All right. You see him literally go down on one knee for a moment and come back up again from your attack. It is Brixton's turn now, unless you have anything else you want to do.
No, that's all my action.
That's all your action. All right.
Yes, indeed.
Brixton.
Brixton, you're on mute.
He's dealing with Adrik. So what direction is he facing now?
He's facing side on to you.
Side on to me.
Yeah. He's dealing with both of you. He's in the corner. But between the two of you, you've got him cornered. So you're on his left, and Adrik's on his right.
Barry, you're on silent again.
You're on silent, and I can't see your face. You're basically gone. If there's nobody around, you can just turn the mute off.
$23 to hit.
23 to hit. All right, you hit. Do your damage. Short
Okay,
sword.
now where the heck? And short sword damage is 8.
8. All right, very good.
The other one?
Yep, rolled a hit. What was the total so far? Adrik, you did 15, didn't you?
Total of 15, yeah.
8.
Non-lethal.
12. Missed, didn't I?
Yep. Yep, so the second one misses. All right.
Okay.
Um,
And as my other move, I disengage.
that's your bonus. Oh, you can't. You took 2 attacks.
Okay.
That was your bonus action. Was your disengage.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but good try. You're trying to cheat like Adrik now. I see.
Well, we're up
Okay,
against
Bragan
it.
takes a swing
Me.
at you. 18. He actually hits you with a two-handed sword.
Yeah.
He does 10 points of non-lethal damage with the flat of the blade to your chest. He just bounces it off your chest. Boom, boom, you can feel it. Beats you in the center of your chest with the core center of the blade. All right. His second attack misses, but only just. And you take an extra d6 from the hunter's mark. Another 3.
Did he mark me or Brixton?
Brixton.
Okay. Oh, so I didn't take that damage.
No,
Oh, sorry. I must have misheard you. I'm terribly sorry.
no. That's Brixton has taken. Just took 13 points of damage this round.
So what am I down to now?
So your total was 23, so you got 10 left.
Okay.
All right. Adrik, it is your turn.
I'm gonna be very fightery, and I'm going to, believe it or not, I'm just gonna hit him with my big, huge hammer.
All right, roll to hit.
Man, that's a 14. That doesn't do it, does it?
No, he parries it across like so and throws the hammer to one side.
So I'm going to then going to the other side. I'm going to action surge,
Ooh,
and I'm going to swing at him again.
All right, roll to hit. Roll to hit. Roll to hit.
27.
Oh, that
wait,
hits.
that's a crit.
That's a crit. Okay, very nice.
Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, nice. So that's 46 plus 5. That's a total of 17 plus my extra d6. Total of 22 damage.
22 damage. All right.
So it slides it to the ground, and then Adrik smiles at him and pulls it back, so it kind of, I imagine, hits him in the side.
Right. So he's taken 45 points of damage so far, just for your information.
Ooh, big boy.
Right. So that's Adrik's attack. Is that all of your attacks and moves and bonuses
That's me.
and everything else? All right. He goes for another swing at you this time, Adrik. Your armor class is what? 19?
17,
17.
without the shield, yeah.
Okay, he hits you with a two-handed sword.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're lucky he rolled snake eyes on his 2d6. You take 6 points of non-lethal damage.
Cool, no problem.
Then for a bonus action, he is going to... take an extra attack, because he gets 2 attacks. But he misses. It comes swinging at you. You dodge out of the way, or parry, however you see fit. Are you guys still in the same positions, or are we circling at the moment?
Adrik's not moving.
Okay.
I'm not moving.
Back to you, Milford Brixton, then.
Okay. Sword again. Short
Alright.
sword. Book. 21.
Was it 21? Did I hear 21?
Yeah.
21. Let me get that. Wow, hit. Okay. Give it to me, baby. Uh-huh.
Not gonna be really good. 6.
6, that's not bad. All right.
That's almost all of your short sword damage.
And the other one.
Yep. 2 hit.
Come on, be. Oh no, it missed.
Yep, okay. So he parries the second attack. And
Yep.
then he swings at Adrik with the two-handed sword. As he does that...
Right. Gudael's pacing along the side of the pitch, by the way.
Okay. Very good. Very good. As he comes at you this time, Adrik, he says, "This is for my god." And you see his blade charges up with divinity. He rolls a natural 20.
Ooh, okay. Here we go.
Ouch. This is going to hurt.
Yes.
So that was a natural 20. Wait a moment. That's a critical. Okay. So you take 15 points of damage plus 2d8.
Holy shit. Okay.
7, 23 points of damage.
Total of 23?
Yeah.
Cool. So is that the end of his turn?
Was that his first attack or his second attack? I think that was his first attack.
Don't recall. I think it was his first attack, yeah.
Yeah, second attack also hits, but without the divine smite this time.
Oh, that's nice.
And you take only 9 points of non-lethal damage this time.
Damn, that's Adrik down to 2 hit points.
Okay. All right.
So at the end of his turn,
Yep.
I'm going to use my stone rune. That's going to flare at him. Features and traits. There we go. Stone rune. So I need him to make a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw. Oh shit, he's a paladin. No, that's a charming thing. He did it, didn't he?
DC 13 or against what? Wisdom, was it?
Yeah, Wisdom.
Hang on, I'm going to do it on D&D Beyond. Because then I get my bonus. Oh, I rolled a 17. Does he take
Okay, no, so we got it.
the full effect or no effect?
No, nothing.
Nothing.
With the Rune Knight, it's all or nothing. That's why the abilities are so strong.
Oh, okay. All right then. So he avoids whatever it is that you just threw at him, and it's Brixton's turn again.
I think you missed my turn.
Oh, did I miss your turn? Was that a reaction that you just did?
That was a reaction, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it is your turn then. Yes, that's why I thought it was your turn.
Nay. Okay, so I'm going to use my second wind to get some of my life back. That's a 1d10 plus 4. Please, gods be merciful, give me a full 10.
All right.
You know, that's a total of 13. That's not as bad as it could have been.
13 to hit, was it?
No, sorry, that's me using my bonus action to...
Heal.
Oh, shit, fuck. Fuck, I completely screwed that up.
What did you do?
Sorry, I did the death saving thing accidentally. That brings me up to 15 hit points.
Okay.
Sorry. God.
No worries. So you're at 15 hit points. That was your action?
That was my bonus action.
That was your bonus
And
action?
now I'm going to swing at him for my main action.
All right. Roll a hit.
That is a 19.
19 hits.
Fantastic. So that's 17 plus my big boy damage.
19 just hits.
No, that's a 19 damage.
Okay.
So that's a total of 20 damage.
All right. And when you do that, he drops his sword and puts his hands up. And he goes, "Ha! You've got me this time. Very well."
Slams his hammer on the ground. Woo! You almost had me there. Well done. Well done. Oh, only thing to do that in recent memory was 2 ogres.
He smiles to himself. You notice about this point that Maith is standing behind everybody over here. Excuse me, that had to
Bless
happen.
you. I thought your mic had killed because your mic's self noise is so nothing. That's lovely.
Did it just snuffed it out? Did it?
No, I heard the sneeze, but everything else was dead silent. I thought it was dead. So that's a good mic you've got there.
Nice. Okay, so yes, Maith steps up. "Very well, my lord," he says to Bragan, and he looks at the rest of you. "I think you've had your fun for the day." Yes?
That was brilliant. Oh, that was fun.
Anyone else wish to challenge our Lord Bragan? He looks at Mystralath and Edren and Gudael.
No, thank you. I don't fancy my chances.
Very well. And Maith says, "Then I shall be returning to my quarters. Anyone who wishes to speak with me will find me there." And he drifts off across the field in that direction. Bragan bows to you guys. He looks at you, Milford, for a long moment. And then after a minute, he steps forward and he extends his hand to you. And you're going to eat through this moment. This incredibly important moment. Your mouth is stuffed full of food. Shocking. Shocking. I orchestrate this whole thing. Shocking. And press the button. I can't hear you.
What was that you were saying? Didn't hear a thing.
Didn't hear a thing? No, of course. Nothing. I was just saying that Bragan steps towards you and he gives you a long glance and looks you up and down, and then he steps forward and extends a hand.
And
His gloved hand in your direction.
I get down on one knee and extend my hand.
And he bows his head and he says, "Welcome to the servants of the Fox, if you will have us, Mr. Brixton."
I will, and I'm honored, my king.
I thank you. And Mr. Fogdar, what a performance.
Oh, it was just so much fun. You were magnificent. Very, very well done.
We will be greatly honored to have you on our roll, if you will also have us.
I thank you. Thank you kindly. And yeah, he just tips his head.
Another faction to please, says Stardust Sam. Indeed.
Joke's on you, Stardust Sam. We haven't pleased anybody ever.
You have displeased many factions, however. Displeased them all. Yeah.
Drazael sneezes in his house because we're talking about him.
Right, right. All the way across the other side of Sidarhael. Drazael's like, I think I heard someone talking about me.
No, weirdly, like he's in the same bar as Orbis, and they both sneezed at the same time. It's wild. It's such a weird coincidence.
Right. Stop it at once. Very well. So what do you guys do? Bragan is heading back to the camp at this point.
Adrik's going to kneel down, or not kneel. He's going to reach down, pick up Brixton, and put him on his shoulder, and walk him over to the rest of the group. You did very well. You held back a little bit. Very well done.
To be fair, his injuries are imaginary, non-lethal ones, so he's not actually hurt.
No, it's affection. I just picked him up, put him on my shoulder.
Okay. All right.
You were excellent.
I was there.
But
Do you feel better?
I think somebody better stop Gudael from going up and down. She's gonna make a hole in the ground if she keeps doing that.
But I think they could do with a moat, a second, because the lake itself might not be enough.
Gudael puffs over. That was the most intense spar I've seen in ages.
Well, those two had pride on the line. I was just there.
Can I get perception checks from you guys again?
Yes.
Aw. He did prove himself, though, the young king.
Everyone, including you, Leith Mystralath. Especially you.
Gudael's feelings. Gudael's a bit too relieved that the spar is over to really notice anything.
Adrik got a 14.
Adrik got a 14.
Leith got a 19.
Gudael got a 10 if it makes a difference.
Well, Gudael, you don't notice anything. However, anybody that gets over a 13 or a 14 will see a large creature coming down out of the trees.
I got an 18.
So, Milford, you definitely see this. It has feathers, but it's about the size of a large bear. It has claws and a beak and big black eyes and a kind of
Bragan's
white
still with
feathered
us, right?
face. And it's going as it comes charging down directly towards Adrik.
Oh, this will be fun.
Bragan is still with us, right?
Bragan's left. He's gone.
Oh.
So has Maith.
So when you said imaginary sparring wounds, that means I effectively have my max hit points, right?
That is correct. You are at actually max hit points.
That's nice. Just double checking.
You see a second one of these creatures coming down out of the hill.
Heads up, everybody! Feathered Awful on our way.
Said what?
Feathered
Oh my.
Awful.
Oh, what are those things?
No idea. Call your mentor. I'm sure he'll have an idea.
I'm gonna run to the Maith's tent.
Okay, so you're running to Maith's tent. Everybody else can be rolling initiative, please.
Fantastic.
What?
That reliable Fogdar luck is staying in place. It's got a sexy 3.
Okay, so Milford. Okay, come back to you. Adrik's initiative was a 3.
And my initiative is 16.
16.
14.
Edren, what's you?
21.
21. Nice. 21. Leith, oh, you're not there, but you can roll initiative anyway. 14.
Oh.
Okay, and Gudael?
I also rolled a 14.
14. Okay, cool. All right. Edren, with your 21, what do you do?
Do they look angry? Well, they're coming at us.
They are coming at you, and they do look angry.
Angry or hungry?
Hard to say.
Hangry.
You could stop and interrogate them if you want.
They're hangry. They're both. They're upset that they haven't had lunch yet. I'm just going to pull out my wand, point it at them, have it encrusted with ice, and send a second level ice knife to one of them. Are they within 5 feet of each other by any chance, or are they spread out?
They are not within 5 feet of each other, unfortunately.
That
They're
is
about
all good.
15 to 20 feet apart from each other.
Okay, so that is a 25 to hit.
Which one are you going for, A or B?
I'll go for A.
All right.
So first of all, A takes 9 points of piercing damage.
All right.
And then can it also make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Okay. Rolls a 10.
Rolls a 10, it fails, so it takes an additional 13 points of cold damage.
Ooh. Ooh, okay, so as it's coming towards you, it's getting covered in ice. And it pulls up in front of you, Edren. And
I was going to move away if possible at the
okay,
end
so
of my
you're going to use
turn.
your movement to get away. All right. Then it's
Yes.
going for the next nearest person in the group, which at this point basically is going to be Adrik.
Right, so.
So Adrik, it's going to take a swing at you with its claws. Okay. 21 to hit.
Miraculously, that does in fact hit.
Does in fact hit.
It does hit.
Wow. It does 14 points of damage with its claws. And
That's,
then it takes an attack at you with its beak. 20.
It does.
It also
I'm still
hits.
just using my. Oh, actually, I would have picked up my. It doesn't make a difference. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference.
Another 7 points of piercing damage.
Tank's halfway down.
All right. Milford.
How much did you just
roll.
take?
I took a total of 21 damage, my dude.
Milford Brixton.
Okay. Serious work here. I look to see if the king's around.
He is not.
So I'm assuming he's safe.
There's a bunch of guards over nearby where he is.
Good. Right. All right. I get my grapple.
Grappling hook? Your grappling
Yeah.
hook?
Grappling hook.
Uh-huh.
And I try to grapple onto the beast somewhere.
All right. You can make a to-hit roll, but you don't really have any
A grappling hook
bonuses
to hit
to
roll,
throw
do I?
that. It would, I guess, athletics. Yeah, athletics.
Athletics. We'll have a look at
An
athletics.
athletics check.
Okay. I'll be back. I'll be there in a minute.
Ah, my
And there it
camera.
is. There it is. Athletics. No.
Yep. Okay, so that's your action.
Yeah.
All right. Bonus action. You want to do anything?
Yes.
Dash, disengage, hide, swing a short sword.
I will dash to get behind it.
Okay, so you're going to move behind the owlbear. All right.
Yeah.
Very good. That's your action for this round. The next one of these owlbears comes and attacks you, Milford. And it hits you. And it's going to give you a beak for 9 points of damage. But this time it's 9 actual points of damage. And I'm going to reduce them from your hit points on your character sheet. So I'm tracking your hit points. You're down to 14.
Okay.
Then it goes for you with a claw. But it misses. You manage to dodge out of the way. Gudael.
Gudael. Gudael will hit them with some... she takes out a dagger and slices her hand and squeezes some blood on the ground and casts a spell, Bane, on both of the creatures.
You can have inspiration for that description.
Thank you.
Bane on both those creatures. What does Bane do?
Up to 3 creatures of your choice must make charisma saving... Oh, charisma, that's not going to do anything, is it? Charisma saving throws. Whenever a target that fails the saving throw makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, the target must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the attack roll or saving throw.
So the owlbears are making charisma saving throws?
Oh, yes. Okay, yes. They have to make a charisma saving throw to avoid the spell. Is that right?
I think so, yeah. One of them saves, one of them does not save.
Okay.
All right. So you'd cast the spell, and now it gives them it debuffs them by like a d4 on their attacks or something like that?
Yes.
Is that what I'm hearing?
So he fails, so that means...
Bane.
The target must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the attack roll or saving throw.
Okay. Lasts for a minute. Okay, and it lasts basically for the entire time that the spell keeps running for, so it's a minute. So
Yes.
yeah, that's going to be that'll keep going through the rest of this encounter, I would expect. Okay, any bonus actions?
Yes, I think Adrik's the most hurt person, so I will cast a healing word on him.
All right.
Thank you.
Roll your healing dice, please.
Healing word. I've got the thing up. Go away.
I like Stardust Sam and Sharkety Shark Bum's use of emoticons in the chat. Okay, so what was your healing dice there? Did you?
I'm sorry. I can't. I've got the spell description up and it won't go away.
Oh no.
Joe, as a life cleric, don't you heal full thing of the thing?
Full thing of the thing. 6.
Yeah, don't when you use healing spells, doesn't it give the full amount?
Regain 2d4 plus 6 hit points.
I think that
Why
might
is
be. I think what you're thinking of might be if they're at 0.
Okay, that makes sense.
What? I can't.
Otherwise, it's broken.
There. Thank you. There we go.
I gave you those spell cards. And
11.
11. Okay, so you get 11 hit points back there, young
That's
Adrik.
kind of you.
All good? All right.
Thank you, Gudael.
Leithwa.
I go running to the tent and find Maith.
He turns and sees you.
Excuse me, Maith. We seem to be being attacked by some owlbears. Do they normally live on the island?
He swoops out past you, out into the sunlight from inside the tent. With remarkable alacrity, And he turns back over his shoulder. He says once or twice. And he looks up to see what's going on. Very good. Adrik.
Alrighty, cool. I think by now a full minute of my giant's thing has passed, so I'm going to reinvigorate that, so to speak, to maintain my giant size.
Yep.
So that's both uses of my transformation done today. I'm gonna keep my shield up for this one, so my AC is 19. When using my warhammer, gonna swing at the little bastard.
Roll.
I always panic when a 7 comes up because it looks like a 1 on these dice.
It does, doesn't it? Yes.
It's that's a 14 to hit.
Especially when they just tip very slightly.
A 14 does hit.
Brilliant. So that's if this would just go away, lovely. That's 1d8 plus. Fantastic. That is a 7 plus my big huge boy damage. Total of 11 damage.
Okay, is this number A or B?
This is the one closest to me. I think that's the one that hit me.
Okay, we'll call it B then. It was 11 points, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Edren.
Jawohl. I am going to send off a first level ice knife to A again.
All right. Roll to hit.
Well,
Or do
hang
I
on.
need to
Sorry,
save?
I accidentally did damage first, so forget about that one.
Aren't we confident?
Apologies. I just clicked the wrong button. 16 to hit.
That hits.
Awesome. Do you want me to re-roll the ice knife damage?
Yes, please.
So that's 5 points of piercing damage, and can it make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Oh, big fat ugly 4.
A 4,
Oh,
so it
wait.
also takes 6 points of frost damage. Cold damage, rather.
6 points of cold
So
damage.
a
So
total of 11.
another 11 points of damage. Very good.
And I'm going to continue moving backwards because I am a scared man.
Because you've yes, and brave
'Cause I'm
Sir
squishy.
Robin, brave Sir Robin ran away. He bravely ran away.
I might actually move around to the side in a little bit of a circular motion, but still away. 'Cause I'm a squishy man.
All right. The owlbear takes a swing at Milford Brixton,
Oh, for God's sake.
and Brixton, you take 17 points of damage. You're unconscious.
Yes.
Okay.
Tank is
Yes.
down, tank is down, tank
Was
is
this
down, tank is
You
down.
heard what he said, guys. Leave him.
I've got as well. Everything goes to Adrik.
Oh, look at that. That's what I have to say about that.
You're all shook up.
Oh my god. Okay, so Milford, you're unconscious. The owlbear steps past Milford and heads for Gudael. The next attack is from the other owlbear, but this time on Adrik. And it,
Which owlbear hit me? Because I was trying to get behind one. Did I not succeed?
there were two, so one of them you were behind, and the other one you were not behind.
Clock me. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Adrik, you get hit from some claws for a grand total of another 9 points of damage.
Did it get? What was the hit?
What was what?
What did it roll to hit?
I was like 26.
Oh, yeah. No, that doesn't do it. So that was 9 damage.
Yep.
Okay, cool. 21 to hit points now. We love it, folks.
Yep. And its other attack, beak. Oh. It's a natural 20. Oh.
Man, 2 crits in the same game.
Oh.
Damn.
Oh. You take another 9 points of damage from its beak. Oh.
Alrighty.
Ouch. Smack, Adrik, you're wearing the owlbear's beak right now in the face. Right.
My beautiful face.
It's right up on you. Okay, Gudael.
Dale is going to. Can I do my bonus action first?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll get out my spiritual weapon.
All right.
So a blue light sword
Okay.
comes up,
Vroom.
and then
That's the Star Wars noise in honor of the 4th of, May the 4th. 16 hits with the spiritual weapon.
okay.
It's always May the 4th somewhere in the world.
I think because that was your first use of the spiritual weapon, having summoned it, that was your action too.
Ah, dang it. Okay, yep, that makes sense.
Okay.
It's 8 damage.
You do 8 damage. All right. Very good. Damage done. Leith, you are standing outside with Maith. Maith is taking in what he's observing from the other side, and he starts walking towards these guys. You notice he begins to kind of blur as he moves. And he starts moving to you guys rapidly at a speed you kind of can't keep your eyes on him. At which point...
How far am I? How far am I from the?
You're
from the
about
owlbears?
200 feet. Adrik.
Cool. I'm just going to hit it.
All right, roll to hit.
That's a crit.
That is a crit. Roll your damage. And tell me A or B. A is more hurt than B.
This is definitely going to be A, so that's a total of 15 damage for the hit without my big boy dice, and that now makes it a total of 17 damage on A, the more hurt one.
Okay. All right, you smash its skull to the ground. You honestly, you pull your hammer off it and you think it's dead, and it begins to rise up again, despite the fact that its head has literally been traumatized to the point where you can see inside its skull, but it's still moving, and it turns back towards you. Do you have a bonus action?
I do not.
All right. Milford's still unconscious. The owlbear takes a swipe at you with its claws, misses. It takes another swipe at you with its beak. It hits you.
My God.
It does 7 points of damage with its beak. It's woozing around now, like it's staggering. Basically, it has...
So is Adrik. He's at 5 hit points.
Right, this dude's got 1 hit point, so...
You're right there. I got you.
It's like... It hits you, and then it wobbles around again. Okay. Milford is unconscious. Owlbear, Gudael.
Okay. So, do we still have 2 owlbears up?
Yes, you do. Oh,
one and a half.
I missed one of them, didn't I? I missed one of them. It's actually the owlbear, the other owlbear.
One and a little tiny bit.
Which one's got the D4 minus to attacks? Is it A or B that's got the D4 minus?
Good question. Gudael, is it A or B that has the D4 minus?
Oh gosh.
We'll make it B because A is nearly dead, and that would be a bit unfair at this point.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Which one's closest to me, A or B?
B, actually, and B is about to attack you anyway.
Okay.
So it's going to take a hit at you with its claws.
All right. Well,
almost rolls a natural 20, but it rolls a dirty 21 to hit. So you take 12 points of damage from its claws. Then it goes at you with its beak. But it comes down with its beak and smacks straight into a big clob of rock that's sitting there. And literally its beak gets stuck. And it can't move. It's now suffering the grappled condition. or something similar, basically meaning that it can't move and you guys get advantage to attack it. Gudael, what would you like to do now?
I would like to hit it with my spiritual weapon, please.
All right, roll to hit.
Do I have to roll with an... How do I roll with an advantage again?
You just roll the dice with advantage. Right click on it for advantage.
That's the one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Where are you? Spiritual weapon.
Oh, I need to fix the Streamlabs message. It says Thursday nights. We've changed it to Wednesday nights.
All right. 20.
Oh,
Dirty
okay.
20.
That's a nice hit. Very good.
All right.
Do your spiritual weapon damage.
There we go. A big 3.
Well, it totals
Wait.
5 apparently.
Totals 5. Okay, yeah.
Yep. Okay, good. And that was your bonus action this time. What's your
Yes.
action?
My action. I think I would like to... Can I reach Brixton?
Yes, you can. You can use your movement to reach Brixton.
Okay, and I'm going to do a cure wounds on him.
Sure. Cure his
12.
wounds. Okay, so
12.
Brixton, you're back up to 12 hit points. Excellent. I'll just add that over here. Healing 12. Okay, you're back alive again, Brixton. You wake up, and it takes half your movement to get back to your feet. But it is now Leith's turn. Leith, what are you doing? You just running?
Yeah, I'm going to get myself closer to the closest of the owlbears.
Okay.
They're both still alive, aren't they?
Yep, barely. You're on your way
Barely.
there.
I get it.
This round, you still have about another 150 feet to go.
I'll get myself to within like 60 feet of it,
Okay.
and I'll cast a.
Cast what?
Steve, you muted yourself.
Cannot hear you.
I'll cast Hex on it.
Hex.
Not sure what happened there.
What's the range for Hex?
90 feet.
Okay.
So I'll get myself to within about 60.
Okay. Does it have a saving throw for Hex?
Hex has. Nope.
No?
Just that I can see, and it has disadvantage on strength ability checks.
Okay. All right.
And then I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast at its face.
And Eldritch Blast has what range?
120.
All right.
And I rolled a 14.
Okay. And are you shooting A or B?
Which one's closest?
B.
B.
All right. Roll your damage for
It
Eldritch
hits.
Blast.
Okie doke. 3 points of damage from the Eldritch Blast, and from the Hex is another 5 points, so 8 points all up.
All right. Excellent. Okie dokie. Adrik.
Cool.
By the way, just
Yeah.
by the way, everybody sees this blur of red coming inwards from outside the field. Same
Cool.
color as Maith's costume, by the sounds of it, for last time you checked. So anyway, Adrik, you're in mortal combat with a owlbear that's trying to kill you.
And I'm trying to kill it, and fingers crossed that this hit actually does it.
All right.
Oh, that's an 18.
18 hits.
Okay, brilliant. That was just clear. Lovely. Would you know it's a 7? Thank Christ, finishing off this last bear.
All right, the bear finally dies. You finally finish it off.
Adrik tries to finish it off from. Sees the top isn't working, so he's gonna come in under the beak because that just makes sense. The brains launch into the sky.
All right. Okay. It hits the ground with a thud. At which point, I need to look up a spell very quickly.
Stardust Sam, albeit golf is my favorite sport. How dare you?
All right, suddenly the storm cloud opens up above the second owlbear. And lightning pours down from the sky. It fries the crap out of the second owlbear, but doth not kill it. Edren, it is your turn.
This is my turn.
Leith is standing there, channeling this lightning from above.
Awesome. Is B still stuck its beak in something?
That one's well dead now.
I thought that was A.
That was A.
I thought
A is dead
B
now.
was the one that went for. Okay. I will fire bolt. The one that's still alive.
All right. Roll to hit.
There's a 13 hit.
13. Funnily enough, a 13 does hit. Just hits.
Oh, awesome. I deal 7 points of fire damage.
You kill the owlbear with your 7 points of fire damage, and it slumps to the ground, unconscious, and drifts off into death, making a kind of sound as its breathing becomes laborious, and then finally it passes away. Very well, very good. Compatriots.
That's that then. Adric's gonna grab his owlbear by the scruff and start dragging it with him. I'm gonna get something out of this, even if it's just a fucking belt.
Do you get a lot of these around these parts?
Maith looks over his shoulder at you, Leith. He nods. From time to time. Why do you ask?
Well, perhaps we could scout the island for you.
There's other things on this island to be concerned of, Mystralath.
Oh, I see.
There is I think I mentioned to you before, an entrance to the Underdark on the far side, near the ruins by the sea.
Yes. We have already had some dealings with the Underdark. I'm not sure how everybody else will feel about going down there again.
If you wish to be useful whilst you're here, clearing those ruins and taking that entrance for our... taking control of that entrance would be something that we would value.
Yes, I'll see how everybody feels about that.
We do have some other things to discuss, however. Come, let us return to the camp.
Oh, of course.
I think it is time to eat. So everybody returns back to the camp, I assume, and there is indeed a large feast being cooked and presented before the group. And you're all given a chair at the table. It's outside, and you sit there in the sun. Incidentally, in the distance, you can see off the edge of the beach, about 100 feet, is a heavy mist that never really goes away. However, the sky itself is fairly clear overhead. You can see the twin suns, and you can see several of the moons sitting on the horizon as you dine and you eat and what have you. Do any of you have any questions for any of the NPCs at this point?
Adrik does. Oh, sorry, no, Gudael, you go first.
So Gudael tries to get herself as close to King Bregan and Maith as possible. Are they sitting together?
They sit up one end, and you'll notice that a woman, a female elf, comes out from another tent, and she kind of slinks over that way, and she comes over to Bregan and leans over his shoulder and says something in his ear, and he nods, and you notice that she's got like this headdress with these almost like Feywild horns on it. A little bit, I guess the closest thing I can think of would be like, what's her name from the movie?
Oh, Maleficent?
Yes, she's a little bit like her. Only a little bit less magnificent. Not quite as magnificent as she is, but still, there is a touch of that magnificence in her character. And she has golden threads twined about her headdress and her hair, and various knickknacks tied onto her costume in places. And she's very beautiful. And she looks over at you guys and glances at you all one at a time, and she whispers something to Bregan, and then she walks off. Very well. But yes, Bregan and Maith and various others are sitting at the far end of the table.
Do I recognize her?
You do not recognize her.
Okay.
Thorn is here. Bran, who you met in the last episode, is also here. There is a person that you believe must be a ranger. Another elf woman, blonde hair, cropped at the shoulder. Scar on her face. You know she's a ranger because she's got a longbow and various other bits and pieces that says ranger, ranger, ranger danger. And yeah, a few other people sitting around. There's guards over, being all guardy like, standing in the mud, guarding, and servants that bring out the food and what have you from another tent. And there's actually a makeshift stone oven that's been built here, so that's radiating heat at the moment as you sit and eat and speak to one another. So how are you sitting in relation to each other?
Well, like I said, I think Gudael's going to try to sit herself as close to King Bregan and Maith as she can.
Okay.
She would like to engage them in conversation.
Very well. And what would you like to talk about?
Excuse me, good sirs. As you know, I am a member of the Daughters of Twilight, and we attempt to broker peace amongst various factions where we can. And although I'm not as far up in the order as the emissaries normally are, I thought I would offer my services, seeing as you are engaging in, shall we say, potentially aggressive maneuvers.
They look at one another and they look back at you.
Specifically, I'm wondering, have you put together shall we say, what's the word? A declaration of sorts. It strikes me that if there's already a king in place, you need to have grounds for dethroning him.
I do believe we have grounds, says Maith. He stands up. Perhaps we should begin by looking into the lineages of the members involved. Firstly, this Usurper King, Ivran, is the half-brother of Durian. Durian was the king for a very long time before and is known to be well loved by the elves of Sidarhael Presents. Yes. Durian was a great king, and all of the Erothani line owe him greatly their lives, their wealth, their livelihood, their lands, etc. We are fairly certain that among the surviving members of the Erothani, Galandel Bragan Erothani here, this man before you, and he points at Bragan, is the last surviving and most closely linked member of that bloodline left to this day. And he was not even in line for the throne at the time of his elder brother's execution. His brothers, his sisters, his uncles and aunts, so many of his blood have been disappeared over the last 90 years or so. His lineage has been dwindling. I orchestrated his, shall we say, escape from Highbrook when he was but a young man, just after his training had been completed early in his years as a knight and paladin. He trained with the brothers and sisters of, or his brothers and sisters, his older brothers and sisters, who now, sadly, light, love, liberty, and light, they have all passed. So, besides the fact that the usurper himself has been literally killing off the Erothani bloodline, they have also been usurping, or rather taking every artifact and heirloom from every elven household and lineage that he has been able to acquire for a duration now of nearly 100 years. He turns to Leith. Leith, you yourself,
Yes, my lord.
You yourself are a product of one of this king's most twisted of, shall we say, little projects. Perhaps, Leith, you would like to tell our dear Gudael Dala Talandaran about the village in which you were raised.
Well, yes. I was brought up essentially in what you might call a commune. We weren't very. The reason for, you've probably noticed that I'm not very religious, is because we had it instilled out of us from a very young age in an effort to, well, it was, I believe, something of an experiment to see what would happen if elves were divorced from their more,
from their religious heritage, you might say.
Well, yes. So,
What's that King Ivran's doing?
I believe so, yes.
It was a commune set up by the Black Guards, if I'm not entirely wrong. Your parents would have been Black Guards, and you would have known who they were had you not been a member of this commune where all the children were raised together. They were divorced of their spiritual heritage, of their bloodlines, of their families, of the very love that they would have received from their mothers and fathers. They had the reverie stolen from them. Thus,
It's not that I don't feel that I was unloved or uncared for in my own, as you would call it, family, but there was not the application of religion in the same way that you or any of you would probably expect.
then there is the matter of the Angor Mark Empire.
The what?
The Orcs. The Orcan Empire. We have been, or at least you have been led to believe for the last 100 or more years that the Orcan Empire was waiting right there just beyond the mountain, preparing every day to invade, sharpening their swords and gathering their armies, preparing themselves for the day when they would take these lands and burn our villages and destroy our homes, steal our children, if not eat them.
Yes, those are the stories.
These are ridiculous lies. The orcs can barely gather together to have feasts. They can barely conduct their old religious rituals.
The orcs have religion?
Of course they do. They believe in Grumpsh. Surely you've heard of Grumpsh.
But they worship him?
Not just him. They worship Ilnaval, and also various others. Urtris, I believe. Yes, they have gods. They have ways, ancient ways. They even have cities. Or they did, once upon a time. I fear that their cities are falling to ruin as we speak. So yes, Ivran Erothani is not the pleasant, all-knowing, loving character that you have been brought up to believe in.
I grew up in Hemeth Terith, and we respect the old ways. We trance. We have temples. No, I cannot believe that they would.
You were protected from these things, Gudael. You were raised among the daughters of Twilight. Or at least you were sent to them early. Your family has protected you from these truths. Is it not your father who is the right-hand man of Ivran Erothani? Is he not Ilandor Talandaran, the leader of the notorious Black Guard?
Yes, that's my father.
Yes.
But he's a cold man, but
colder than you know. He has had children murdered and slain, chased and hunted. A whole bloodline. He looks over at Milford Brixton. This man here, Mr. Brixton, it's not your name, is it, Milford?
No, it is not.
And perhaps you'd like to tell Gudael Dala Talandaran why your name is no longer Erothani.
Because it is safer not to have my name. My name could get me killed.
And have you not had men come to you in the night, breaking down doors?
Yes, it is what happened to my family.
And you were saved at a young age, were you not?
Yes.
The servants of the Fox are everywhere, Mr. Brixton. And they have been for a time now. We protect our own, but we also protect the old ways. We do not wish to see our brothers and sisters, the Labalas, the Windwalkers, the Moonbrooks, all of these bloodlines, all of these families having their ancient heirlooms and heritage taken from them by this pretender who wishes to amass his power for the sake of control. And I believe there are darker things afoot. I have had word that there is a Shadar Kai in the midst of his court.
Do I know what a Shadar Kai is?
You can make a history check, Gudael, or a religion check, whichever is higher for you. I'm assuming it's going to be religion because you're a cleric.
Religion? Let's equal. 15.
You have heard the term Shadar Kai. The Shadar Kai, as far as you know, are some sort of... you know that the Eladrin come from the Feywild, and they are your ancestors. The Shadar Kai come from the Shadowfell. And the Shadowfell is where souls tend to go when they die, and where they generally are taken and meet the Raven Queen. And they must have their souls weighed and balanced, etc. It's not unlike the Egyptian sort of scenario. The Shadar Kai are the servants of the Raven Queen.
Right. The Shadar Kai are working with... What? Are you saying that the Shadar Kai are working with the Black Guard?
It is possible. I have my suspicion. I believe that there is a member of the court of Highbrook that is a Shadar Kai hiding in plain sight. If you are able to identify him or her, that would be of great use to me.
Would be a powerful mage, wouldn't it?
Most likely. I would be very careful if I were you.
We would need to first get ourselves trusted within that court to be able to even get anywhere close, so surely.
Yes, it might not be a task for right now. There are many tasks like this that would be useful to us. Stardust Sam says the plot is now as thick as custard.
Certainly is.
These are not the only things, Gudael. Your beloved king has burned whole villages to the ground, seeking the children of the Erothani line. Only 30 years ago, a town near the Butts, to the west of here, burned to the ground. Dozens of people.
Was that not the orcs?
They claimed it was orcs. But then you'll find, if you go further into the matter, according to your own brother, whom, incidentally, Gudael, is one of us. According to him, the orcs have been found carrying Ivran's own minted electrum coins in their purses.
Yes.
From the Banakaya to the Lake Lockhart. Goblins, too.
Goblins?
There have been children and others sold into slavery to the drow.
I am so sorry. I am unable to. This is a lot to take in.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure.
Milford stands up and goes, gets a drink, and takes it over to Gudael.
I do hope you will forgive us these terrible, terrible knowledges.
I don't think that you are the ones that need to be apologizing.
But there is some light in all of this, Gudael. You are not responsible for any of it. You have been protected from it. You are beyond it, beyond its pale. It has not touched you. Your heart remains pure. And I must say that according to what I have learned about you, a lot of this is due to the singularity that we call Iolanthra Imdrael.
Does she know all this?
Not all of it. She is aware of some. She has been blinded by her hatred of the Orcan Empire. Sadly, she cannot see the light. She cannot see the forest for the trees in that regard, but she has no love for Ivran Erothani, and even now she moves against him. She and her daughters of Twilight, of whom you are a member, they have some, shall we say, immunity, diplomatic immunity in Highbrook. They are untouchable throughout most of the world. You have the freedom to move and to be as you will, as long as you have the protection of the daughters behind you. Praise the Supreme Matriarch.
Yes, praise her. It seems that perhaps my chosen family may become my only family.
Well,
Although you have Ren. Ren is among your number.
yes. He is not like you. He has not been here to this island. But he has passed information to us for years now.
For years.
And he has protected you from this knowledge.
Of course he has.
He is pure of heart, Ren Talandaran, your brother.
Oh, yes. The purest.
Yes. A gentle soul, despite his ferocity. So, about those goblins then. We have a small problem in the southwest of the island. Perhaps I shall leave you all to consider these things. And Maith stands and retires back to his tent.
I beg your pardon, gentlemen. I will trust you with the decision making. I need to adjourn to my room, or to a quiet place for some contemplation.
Of course.
If you need us, girl, we're just here.
Thank you, Milford.
Thank you for your service, says Bragan. I look forward to talking with you more. Next time she's about, I will also introduce you to my sister.
I would like that. Thank you, sir. Sire. And Gudael retires.
Very well. The other 4. Sit silently at the table for a long moment.
Adrik probably heard most of this, but I don't think he was allowed inside. Mostly because he dragged the owlbear carcass with him. And
Well, this was at a table outside, by the way.
oh, then the owlbear carcass is is quite close to him. He hasn't had the opportunity to ask someone to help him, pelt it.
Right. I think the guards probably would have assisted you to at least move it out of the eye line of the eating guests.
Yeah. Yeah, reasonable. So he's probably sitting there, but he's got like one eye on it. He doesn't want anyone to take it.
Right.
But he's also just absorbing all of that.
I think Thorn will have agreed to make sure that you are to get the owlbear and its pelt. All right.
I'm eternally grateful to Thorn.
All right. No problem.
I would like to go up to Thorn and ask in Orcish how you happen to be as a half-orc on an island filled with elves.
That is a long story, human. A long story. Through valor.
Very good. Valor. I'm sure you have plenty of it to be able to convince the elves to let you stay. I hear some of them.
Do you wish
can
to
be quite,
test me?
No, that wasn't sarcastic. That was sincerity. I don't question your valor or loyalty in this group
She's
of people.
failing all her insight checks right now.
I was just curious, as you seem to be the only person amongst these group of elves that aren't an elf. And I was just curious, but glad to know that it's through hard work and devotion.
Very well. What else can I do for you, wizard?
Do you like to drink?
Do I like to drink? What do you have?
Nothing on me, actually. I drank our last good bottle of wine on the ship. It lasted the ship trip lasted about 3 weeks, but the wine bottle lasted about a day. So I don't know if there's anything here.
Tell me, wizard, I have a question for you. There has been much talk among our group. What will be done with the crew of your boat?
Oh, I'm sure when we've done whatever we need to do with whatever is on the ship, I'm sure they'll be free to be mind wiped and go about their merry way as if none of this ever happened.
Yes, a crew of how many? 30? 40?
Roughly so.
That's a lot of magic, I expect.
Yes, but I think we'll definitely be able to... Oh, no, I need to reload my camera. We'll definitely be able to, I think, cover for the expenses of whatever is necessary to make sure everything runs smoothly. Which also reminds me, I need to talk to my fellow companions about what to do with what's on the ship.
Well, I shall leave you in peace then, wizard.
Thank you.
She wanders off. Not Maith, Leith. Leith, Maith, same thing.
Same thing.
What are you up to, Leith?
What am I up to? I'm just sitting there eating my dinner, thinking about how we're going to best probably hide this treasure.
Right, because you have a boat here with copious amounts of gold and magic items on it, don't you?
Well, yes. Yeah.
Right. You haven't even had a chance to do an inventory, have you?
No.
At this point.
And it's because of me that's there, and that so I'm going to start after they've all made their pleasantries with everybody at table.
Yep.
Gather everybody up for a bit of a meeting.
All right.
Everybody, I really do think we should have a chat about the
What are you trying to say, Leith?
I'm trying to form a metaphor. Thank you, Milford.
What?
The giant with the large coin. If you catch my drift.
Does anybody catch his drift?
The mound of gold sitting on the lake.
Well, me is thinking this.
Yes. I think we should go somewhere else and talk.
Okay, what's your plan, Leith?
Well, maybe we should go somewhere that's not so public and talk about this.
And let's go for a walk by the lake.
Yeah, just by the lake.
Nothing quite
Hey.
like a walk after a nice meal.
Yes.
Or we could go inland. Inland is also very
you know that's
vibrant.
also a very good point.
Plenty of
Very
lovely stones, and as we said, stones
Do
is
you
the
want
trees
to
of
see
dirt,
what he
so-
had for dinner or something?
Who?
I don't. Isn't it plain to the nose on your face, or the face on your nose, or whatever they call it, that he doesn't like the water?
Oh, yes.
Do you, my lordship?
In layman's terms, yes.
Yes, you do, or yes, you don't.
Yes, I don't like water. I don't like large swaths of water, particularly deep neither.
You know how to break that habit. Just walk out there and swim in it.
Right. I'm not entirely sure that's viable, but I will
That's
keep
how
that in
mu-
mind.
That's how my friend the Witherspoon did it. That's how I learned to swim. She threw me out in the water.
I'm not sure that kind of tough love is going to fix something that's as seemingly quite as deep rooted as it is for Mr. Edren.
Yes, and
Even if
I've had quite enough of tough love to last a lifetime, so I think anything a little bit more gradual will do me fine.
Yes.
I was just about to say, if you're inclined to break the feelings you have about water at some point, we can take some baby steps. We'll move from a tub to a larger tub to a hole in the ground to
Tubs
eventually.
are fine. Water in
Shall
general
we-
is fine. I can deal with rivers. It's just
Shall-
particularly
shall
big
we-
things.
Should we get some flowers for Gudael or something?
Aye. She did look
Yes.
a wee bit distressed.
Yes, maybe those mushrooms will help.
I
I was
How did
being
we get-
rather sarcastic. Don't worry. I don't think
Oh.
she'll want to indulge in any of that.
Yes,
Anyway.
I'm not sure that's her kind of thing.
Anyway,
No.
if you had an idea, what was it? We'll just walk this way. Come on.
Yes. Let's walk and talk. Well, we do have that rather large boat full of coinage and treasure that we haven't very much accounted for as yet, and we do actually need to consider how we're going to where we're going to put it all.
Don't you think that as an apology to the king, we might give him some of it?
Well, I was considering that, and I was going to propose this. Yes.
I don't know how we're gonna do, but how do you approach a king and say, "Excuse me, do you mind if we only give you 10%?" I don't think we can approach it that way,
Well,
I think it'll-
I will tithe to Bragan, formally, from us all, as a a symbolic thank you for our passage here, for our refuge here.
I'm sure he'll be grateful for a donation.
So whereabouts are
Hey.
you guys at this very moment?
We're
We
going
walked
in-
somewhere into the woods.
Okay.
Yeah, into the center of the island.
All right. Can you make perception checks, please?
Ah, shit.
I don't like it when he says that. I like it when he doesn't say a thing at all.
Leith is too busy with plans in his head and trying to figure out how we're going to execute this next bit.
Adrik got a 15.
Okay.
Got an 11.
Okay. Milford rolls a 14.
14.
So Milford and
Barry,
Adrik.
could you move into center screen?
Oh, I had to look at my screen.
Oh, no problem. Sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't see it.
No
How
worries.
dare you, Michael?
Thank you.
I am the bastard today.
You're a bastard.
As you are wandering through the bush having this conversation, excuse me, losing my voice, the fellow that Milford was speaking to the previous session, Bran, steps out of the woods not far from you. And he says, I couldn't help overhearing your conversation, but it sounds like you have a small dilemma.
It's not a small one, my lord. It's quite a big one.
Oh, really?
Literally a boatload.
It's a boatload of a big one.
Bran is
Bran
From
is from the island.
from the island.
One of the members of the servants of the Fox. He was the fellow that Brixton was talking to outside the tent last week after he got himself into his little furor with Bragan, if you recall.
It's nothing that we can't handle ourselves, really. We just need to talk amongst ourselves and sort out the issue. It's nothing you should really concern yourself with.
Well, I just had a slight suggestion that I thought I would raise to you.
Oh.
But, take it as you will.
No. I'm sure Leith is open to suggest aren't you, Leith?
Well,
Say yes, Leith. Go on, say Leith.
certainly, but I'm
Bran,
not sure you think.
Bran looks you over, and he looks up and down in both directions to see if there's anybody around him, and he leans in a little bit quietly, and he says, in fact he goes down on his haunches to get lower, so there's even less chance of anybody overhearing anything he says. He says, now understandably you've worked very hard to come by what you have, so I've heard, and presumably you'd like to keep it. So my thoughts on the matter are that instead of perhaps passing over all of your hard work in one fell swoop, you could perhaps offer to lend it. Or otherwise find some means of getting value for your hard work.
Yes, perhaps we could hand it over for storage and safety, and while it is in the king's care, he is able to immediately dip in and out of the funds to fund his stuff. But then eventually, when we require it to be given back, he can give us a more reasonable way in which to return it.
But we've got to put it in nicer terms than that.
Oh yeah, it's
Really?
like a.
It seems to
almost
me
like
that
an
what you
investment.
have also is a large ship full of, let's be blunt here, treasure that nobody can use because, frankly, it's hot.
Well,
That's true.
yes. I'm a little unsure how you came by this information, but
I have my means.
I wish to ask what those means are.
Maith told me.
Oh, of course. Well,
Incidentally, you left Vaingate in quite a state.
oh yes. Well,
Your friend, what was his name?
Zandor.
Zandor Rem. Not entirely wrong when he said that your pursuer would burn the city to the ground.
Oh
Oh.
dear.
what has happened?
Well, I'm not sure exactly, but it's been said that a number of fires have begun and there's riots on the street and all sorts of havoc has ensued.
In such a short amount of time.
Something about
We're
some sort
Very
of
glad we moved when we did.
military police moving in, martial law declared.
On which behalf? On whose behalf? The Claresca or?
One can only presume on behalf of Claresca, I believe, yes. I understand the
worst case.
Barachiel Envoy are trying to gain access to her court.
Well, smart we sent that letter then, Brixton. Paper bird. That kind of does excuse us in her eyes.
Yeah, well, I wasn't being unfair with anybody. I was going to help her anyway.
No, that is fair, but I'm glad that we sent it. You know,
Yes.
clear up our names in her eyes at the very least.
Yeah.
We don't want two enemies when we can just have one.
Well, yes, this is true. And I do appreciate that forethought.
Right.
So do I, but I'm a bit worried about her now.
Gudael, where are you at the moment?
So I'm coming back from my self-imposed break.
Okay. So these guys, you were told they were last seen heading that way into the forest. So I'm assuming that you followed them?
Yeah, I'm catching up to them.
All right. So anytime you want to break into the conversation, you can stumble upon them in the woods.
Can I roll my perception, boss?
Yes, you can roll it.
Okay. There's a reason for this. When I find my little buddy.
There had better be a reason for it.
I'm gonna turn to the other three and just
With a
what-
12, are there any flowers about?
Are there any flowers? There is some flowers. There are some flowers. They're not extraordinarily pretty flowers, though, to be honest with you. This is kind of swampland, marshland.
I know, but it's the thought that counts. So, while we're discussing it, if the flowers aren't far away,
You
we'll
pick some flowers. All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Leith, you were about to say something to the other three.
Yeah, I just wanting to. Are we really sure that investing our money in an unknown, with an unknown investor, is the best idea?
Hey, wait a minute, says me picking flowers. Haven't we already, well, some of us have invested our lives with them already, have we not?
Bran says
Well-
to you, you are standing on an island that belongs to your Lord Protector, and you're discussing whether or not you have faith in investing in him.
Excuse me, I'm trying to talk to my man here, sir.
Something else to consider is if Maith is the one that's told
Right.
Bran, surely Maith has some idea about this suggestion that Bran's laid at our feet. And if you trust Maith, oh, I'm sure you can lend a little bit of trust Bran's way.
I suggest you talk to Maith about the subject, if I were you.
Well, yes, I guess that could be a good idea. I'm just maybe.
I would word it a little bit more carefully, though.
Gudael breaks through the trees. Oh, finally, I've caught up with you.
Milady, says Bran, bowing.
Good day, Bran.
Excuse me, but Mr. Bran, this I don't mean to be rude, but I would rather that I have this conversation with my team. Thank you.
Very well, good day. He picks one of those flowers that Milford has been picking. In fact, he just takes it out of Milford's bunch. He picks it out of Brixton's bunch, and he puts it in his ear. And
Okay.
He walks off.
Right. Before
So
we
once
do
he's-
any more business, Gudael,
Yes, sir.
on behalf of me and the boys, I'm sure the boys, I'm no good at this stuff, so just have patience with me. Okay, me and the boys would like to tell you how wonderful it's been to have you as one of our members. Isn't that right, boys?
Aye.
Yes, it's been amazing.
Well, yes, I very much do appreciate Gudael being with us and being a part of this team. Yes,
We'd be very dead without you.
Exceptionally dead.
Yeah, absolutely dead. Now, I know this is not posh or nothing, but I'd like to, and then he changes into a more suave milady on behalf of the gentleman behind me. And on behalf of the great things you have done for us in this short time, I would like to present you with these flowers. And he goes down on one knee and gives us flowers.
Gudael's very touched and gives a little curtsy in her armor.
And
I thank you.
he steps off. Now back to business, gentlemen.
yes. I see the option that we can invest, but well, investment means risk, and I do feel that perhaps we might be better served by finding somewhere to maybe bury this treasure.
Right.
That's a lot of gold. I can drag the ship somewhat out of the lake, but not a lot. That's a shitload of gold.
Not to mention, someone else might be able to find it the same way we were able to find it, i.e., stumbling upon it.
Or should
got
we
a point.
perhaps divide it up?
Be quite hard
Still-
to do it. There are big, large coins the size of shields.
Yes.
If we were to get rid of it, we're potentially better off sending Zandor and the ship away. But where?
Have we decided if this is treasure that we are keeping for ourselves, or is this meant for
Well,
other people?
I am going to attempt to give some to the Maith and the king to as a kind of tithe, as you were, to thank them for their hospitality and well, I guess ingratiate ourselves within their, for want of a better word, court.
Yes.
If we need, unless Rem or any of us have a better place to be able to hide whatever portion we're trying to keep hidden and we're not giving away, I am hesitant, but I'm willing to suggest my uncle Gadolf, very good, generous, and jolly fellow, up in Vanderhold, he'd be able to possibly hold on to it better than if I sent it to my wife, purely because he lives on the coast and he can duck it into a cove somewhere, no one will know the better, whereas my wife lives more inland. And if we send Rem, he'll be able to do a little bit more keeping an eye on it than if we just send it by itself.
Oh, keep it
And it
in
gets-
their safekeeping on Vanderhold.
Aye.
He may enjoy
It's-
the solitude there as well.
Yes,
gives
and
him-
there's
Gives him an opportunity to get away.
yes.
I have a
And I'm
question
sure-
for all of you.
Oh yes.
Now, as for me, I've decided to join the king. What about the rest of you?
I'm very glad to hear that, Milford.
But I know certain members of our team need to go underground. This is the perfect place to do it.
I'm aware of the entrance to the Underdark. I was actually planning on asking Maith about its proximity to Abnor Gur, but after the earlier conversation, I didn't think it would be wise to do so right now.
All right. Now, depending on whether we join the king, don't you think if we all decide to join the king in his battle, that we should be asking the king what we should do with this money and see what his answer is? I think it would be very interesting, don't you?
If he does anything but go, I'll keep it, I'll be very surprised.
Let's give it a go, shall we? What do you think?
Well,
I support your decision, Milford. From the position I now realize I'm in, I very much wish to undo as much of the damage as I can on behalf of my family.
It's not your damage, girl. You didn't do any of it. You got to realize that. It's not your damage at all. But I know what you mean.
Even so, it's innocent people.
So if we're all joining the king, if we are, then I say to you, let's give him a chance to make a decision. Because if we decide to join him, that means we're going to be risking our lives for him. So we got to trust him as well, you know. I can't believe I'm saying this.
Leith, sound.
Oh, that's why. I just want to be assured that we are all in agreement about this. I don't.
That's
want
why I'm
anybody to
asking
feel...
you all.
Yes.
If we all agree, we'll all do it.
Just out of game briefly too, I just want to add that you've got the money that's on the ship, right? You've got whatever's on the ship right here, but you also have an agreement with Drazael, which is entirely separate from the ship. Just putting that out there.
That's what I'm concerned about.
100k.
Well, Edren, you don't have 100k. You have 20k.
Oh,
left,
but everyone else is 100k.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit concerned about this gold. This gold kind of belongs to Drazael, and I personally don't have much in the way of family, so to bury that doesn't quite sit well with me.
We can no. We can tell the king about Drazael and the others and see what his decision is. We can fill him in.
And what happens if he decides, no, it's mine?
Can't exactly stop him.
That is more my question. If you are comfortable
let
with
me
that.
put it this way. One, how are we going to get off the island?
Sail it to Vanderhold.
If we go to Vanderhold, a big ship in Vanderhold?
No. We just send
we
Zandor
do
that
have
way.
ships in Vanderhold. Yes.
What?
We do have ships in Vanderhold. We are an island after all.
Okay.
And if you sail it round to my
course-
Uncle Gadolf's Cove, it might be a little bit more stealthy than going straight into the proper
And
ports.
of course, our major enemy is not going to find out about that at all.
No, I don't think they're going to want to go somewhere where it doesn't have sun for 6 months. So
They might want to go there to get even on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people.
why would they go to Vanderhold to get even?
Well, we took a lot from them.
True, but I mean, there's not exactly anything much in Vanderhold that they can do to get back at us, is there?
Except your family.
Except
Brixton's
for my wife.
Yes.
All right.
I
Other than
know.
maybe her, I think anything else is kind of a moot point.
Good enough.
All right, Brixton. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm convinced. But I warn you, if that boy king takes
You
this
can
gold,
have my money.
it's not about the money. I'm going to have to rely on you to pull another great caper to steal it back.
I pulled this one, didn't I?
You had help.
And I've got you lot, I was about to say.
Yeah, right, just checking. All right, you got me convinced. What about the rest of you?
What about you guys?
Well, yes.
Where you go, I go.
We do need to all stick together, and I did just bring it up because I wanted to make sure that we were all sure of what we wanted to do.
Oh no, you've got a right to do that. Nobody can stop you from being yourself. That's what I depend on from each one of you. What about you, my lord?
I've lived a long enough life without a giant cache of Astorian gold. I think if something happens to it, it won't be too poorly missed in my heart. So I'm keen to go with whatever you think is best, Brixton. Also, I think it might be wise if, while you handle the cache, while you handle the king, I can go and do an inventory if you'd like.
I think you and I maybe should go and itemize everything. That
Yes.
would probably be a good idea.
Very good. That's a very good idea.
Okay, so you want me to face the king then?
You're just so good at it.
Well,
I'm sure you and Gudael, I think having her would also, another calming presence would definitely help the situation of money, which is always awkward and tense for a lot of people.
Let us figure out what we have first before we further talk to the king about
Right, good point.
I think that's
what
a
we are
brilliant
going to hand
idea.
over.
I think that's a brilliant idea, Leith. Go about it, you two.
Yes.
Oh, and I don't see why the boat can't be ours.
Except for the sailors on board.
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
They might
it's-
be unemployed.
It's Zandor's boat, technically.
It's Zandor's. Well, we could
Good
give
point.
that to Zandor.
We probably do need to speak to Zandor as well about his future plans and
Aye.
and where he sees things being. We might.
What do you
need to let
think
him know.
about asking? It might be. Well, we'll talk to Zandor about it first, as you say, Leif. I think it's a good idea. But we might ask the king if Zandor can be of any use to him, because Zandor knows a lot of things that he doesn't. But
And
first,
well, the Benakaya.
and
Sorry,
it's good.
sorry, you go, Brixton.
It's a good place to hide, is it not, for him?
No, it is. And I'm sure he can be of use
Definitely.
because the Barachiel are a opposition force that he may want to be abreast of.
You're a genius.
Aye, well. Yes.
What can I say? I'm so proud of you lot.
Oh, we learned duplicitous from the best.
I know. Come on, let's set about doing what we've got to do.
As we march off, I'm gonna hold back a bit and just grab Gudael's hand, like just gently, and I hope you'll accept this one very small wisdom from a very small man. Children owe nothing to their parents. Parents owe the world to their children. And if your father, or your family at all, have made a world you're not proud of, you don't owe fixing it to anyone. Make it something you're proud of. Don't make it something you need to fix. That's all.
Thank you, Adrik.
You're more than welcome. And he gives her a little hug. But it's an awkward hip hug. It's like, I know, this is not great. Just go with it. I'm a hugger.
Gudael's not quite sure what to do, so she like pats his head.
Yes, that's it. Just feel it out. It's okay.
Well, that's awkward.
It was a side hip thing. Adric's not crass. How dare you?
He's not that crass anyway. Okay. So you guys head back to the camp, I assume.
Leith and I think Adren are going to go
Yeah.
to the boat.
Yep. They're going to count up the loot.
Inventory.
And
So the boat is
inventory.
currently guarded.
All right.
Well, we bought the boat.
It is
together.
our ship, so
Yeah.
thank you for guarding it for us. No, we need to be a little bit more tactful than that.
So you approach the guards.
They're the guards from the boat or the guards
No,
from the island.
they're Bragan's guards.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me, can I see the captain of your guard, please?
Excuse me, could I see the captain of your guard, please?
Excuse me, could I see the captain of your guard, please?
Excuse me, can I see the guard of our captain?
Thorn steps forward from behind the nearest tent.
Ah,
Thorn.
Thorn. Leith?
We're just going onto the boat to itemize everything up.
This is not necessary.
And why
Why
do you
not?
say that?
It has been done.
Oh,
Maybe see the list.
I'm sure you can. But you will need to speak with Maith.
Very good.
very
About,
good.
about turn, everybody. We'll head to Lord Mayor.
All right. So you go to the larger of the various tents. That actually, it isn't the larger. The larger one is Bragan's tent. The next smallest one, or next biggest one, depending on how you look at it, is Maith's tent, which is red. And when you go in, you can make perception checks, please. Perception checks, please.
Yep, getting there.
7.
14.
No, 9. I must be.
17.
I'm working things out in my head, and I've.
Okay, so Milford, you're not really paying attention.
No, not
All right.
at the moment.
Adrik, was that a 7?
That was a 7.
Edren was a 17.
Yep.
17 also for Gudael.
Okay, so
No, I was. a
Edren,
14.
Leith, and Gudael, you notice something extraordinarily peculiar about this tent. Leith, you've already seen this effect before, so it doesn't surprise you. But for the other two, this tent is remarkably bigger on the inside than on the outside.
That is 10. Tentus.
This dimensionally makes
Yes.
me a little bit
shh,
confused.
We don't talk about that too loudly. It's,
Various candles light up along the sides
It
of the
just
tent. They just
is what
flare
it
to
is.
life.
It's bigger on the inside.
Yep, you said
Adrik
it.
runs outside, looks at the tent from the outside.
Um,
No, I hate this. I don't like it.
just as you would say, Adrik, roll with it.
I have never said that in my life, but I will say it now.
Please
um,
don't.
I'm sure that's something you would say if you will want to say it.
Adrik pulls out a little handbook of things of it, his little sayings. No, at the back. No, you're right.
Greetings, my new compatriots, says Maith as he steps towards you from the center of the tent, passing between dividing curtains.
My lord, and I'll say the word fox, and my glamored armor will turn into the servants of the fox uniform.
I see.
Mr. Snapchat.
And I'll fall to one knee, and I will say, my lord, we are meaning to tithe unto you, but it appears that you already have itemized everything that we were that we were going to tithe in the first place.
Maith begins to unwrap his head bindings in front of you, and he reveals the fact that his eyes are just scarred over. He does not have eyeballs. They're just scars, empty hollows where his eyes once were. These black scars come down here, like they've been literally burned out. He says, "Yes, I am aware of the contents of your boat. You wish to tithe."
We very much do. As thanks for your
He puts
your
his hand.
hospitality and your generosity.
Puts his hand on your shoulder, Leith. Make a saving throw, wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh.
27.
A 7
27.
or 27? Okay,
Yes.
okay. You feel your thoughts being probed momentarily. What are your surface thoughts, however? Because I can read your surface thoughts.
That I'm quite honest in my intent, that I do want to make sure that we give to him some sort of payment for our that's recognizing of our duty to him, and thanks for his generous hospitality.
He doesn't say anything, he just listens.
That's all my surface thoughts are.
Mm-hmm. All right, so he listens to what you have to actually say now.
I feel that my friends are now trusting of what the servants mean and where they stand within this world, and are willing to serve you and the would-be king,
I see.
the rightful king.
So they have chosen to throw in their lot with the servants of the fox. Are the others present here? They are, because Adrik was here
Yeah,
at the door,
yeah.
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 Okay.
Everybody's here, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
I certainly am.
Are you prepared to be initiated into our order?
Is that directly to me?
It's to all of you.
Yeah.
Only if I get a nice snappy outfit like that.
Maith gives you a stern non-look.
Adrik just smiles at him.
He reaches out and touches your face, Adrik. Make a saving throw. Wisdom saving throw.
No problem. That's a 12.
What are your thoughts about all of this?
These are my deepest thoughts?
Yep.
Okay. Adrik is dubious at best. He's not particularly interested in all this righteous king stuff. He just wants to make a better world for children. But at most, he's seeking answers. Sorry, I know I'm trying to be as specific about this. He's happy throwing his lot in with the servants of the fox for the moment.
Right. Okay.
So
And-
towards those ends, yeah. Sorry.
How greedy does he sense Adrik is?
No greed. It's Adrik doesn't want for anything material, but he's got a very it's a deep hunger. It's an obsession to make the world a better place. I think that's at its purest. That's what it is,
Right.
and you know why.
Yeah.
And does he look that far in?
Yeah, it probably does. Yeah, I would think so.
Then I think he's greeted with that vision.
The vault.
The vault. And the holding of a stone baby in my arms. And the howling and fury at a statue of Muradin. All of that.
Right. Very well. He takes his hand away from your face and he nods. Very well. Here is what I propose to you. I propose that each of you gives your tithe to the servants of the Fox in order to continue the operating costs that are required to keep this organization underway, to assist paying for the various ongoing daily costs that we incur. That will go so far as to bribe officials and to keep safe havens open for those that are on the run, everywhere from Highbrook to Vaingate. I suggest that presently the magical artifacts that currently reside upon that boat should be left to be discussed between myself and your friend Zandor Rem, who also has an interest in these things. I think that the majority of the gold should be divided by all of the parties who have interests in it, so that they may be satisfied. I think that Lord Bragan requires something to the tune of 150,000 gold in order to raise his next project, shall we call it.
Would there be enough within what we have on board the ship to...
Easily enough.
Well,
How
that
is
seems
it
like a
you
small
knew of
price
the
to pay.
others we owe?
I would also suggest that you perhaps consider this. With the coinage that you have procured, you have the capacity to purchase a future for yourselves. That future may include land and titles and holdings. You may wish to propose these types of things to His Highness when next you speak with him, at which point I should hope you have a much more formal idea of what it is that you intend to do. I would suggest that you demonstrate to him that you have some kind of objective that will not only serve your own interests, but will serve the interests of the Fox. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, my lord.
You have a ship. Perhaps you can use this to everyone's advantage. Perhaps diplomatic relations between here and Vaingate might be found useful. You will need to do something about the small issue of the Barachiel Envoy, however. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because currently, what I have to deal with presently is a number of witnesses pointing to a boat that is headed towards Highbrook on the river. And I believe that your dear friend Vorbis Daal Rennaz is most likely preparing to make his way in this direction sooner rather than later. Now, he may or may not find this island. I doubt that he will. However, he will more than likely come across the Black Guards, and he will not be the type to be dissuaded by them. He will more than likely find his way to Highbrook, where he will seek an audience with the High King Ivran. Those two will likely join forces if you are not careful.
So are you suggesting that we somehow dispose of Vorbis
dispose of him, lead him away, otherwise distract him from these parts.
All right, that seems like a good bet to make sure our enemies stay divided. Out of curiosity, if on a scale of 1 to a 10, if I were a 1 and you were a 10, where does Vorbis place on that scale? In terms of danger.
He seems to be computing this concept for a minute. He looks away as if he's not going to answer it, and then he turns back to you and he says, probably a 6.
All right, guys. It's better that we just walk into that lake and drown ourselves. That's it. That's a joke. Let's not do that. We'll find a way.
I beg your pardon?
It's not. It wasn't funny. Don't worry.
Oh.
I was just exaggerating about how more. You know what? Don't worry. Don't worry. It's fine.
All right.
Oh.
Back to more serious things.
Dwarf humor.
Adrik humor. I know funnier dwarfs.
I see. Yes.
Good. Can you two shut up now?
Probably.
Good. Now, my lord, we'll need the ship empty. How quick can you empty it?
Oh, that will not be a problem.
Good. If you would, well, not yourself, of course, but if you would get somebody to empty it, then we'll get it out of here.
I have another suggestion for you. Emptying it right here is perhaps not the greatest option, for here is merely a small camp on the swampland of an island. However, if your considerable forces, i.e. yourselves, were to take the nearby goblin encampment and the entrance to the Underdark, you may find that there are places that you could hide a horde.
But does that not lead to the Underdark?
Well, of course.
Well, we would be defending that forever.
Well, you might not personally be defending it forever, and also you could hide the treasure.
That is true.
Let me ask you a question, Leith.
Yes.
From what I have learned thus far, this treasure sat in a chamber beneath the city of Vaingate for perhaps centuries, perhaps thousands of years, millennia, perhaps.
Yes.
Nearby, there were a number of creatures, including drow slavers, who passed it by on every second turn. Why did not the drow take this treasure?
I think the drow probably assumed that it was theirs by virtue of living around it.
Also the Guardian. That skeletal Guardian that was slithering around under the gold probably helped dissuade a few people.
Yes.
And the book.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I see. Did you happen to find anything peculiar among that treasure?
Oh, what didn't we find? There was where did you call it, Adrian? The Tome of Twisted Skin, large evil book.
Something like that, yes.
That's probably the most peculiar thing. We were attacked by a large skeletal snake-like creature. This here belt, hammer. What else? This stone floating around my head. What else did we find?
A crown.
A crown.
Crown, a bag of holding.
Oh no, those things were payment.
Yeah, well, they were
Aside
found
from
amongst
the
pile.
crown.
But they all
Yes,
came from the
the bag
treasure,
was.
didn't they?
Some of that stuff didn't actually
Did
come
they?
from the treasure. It was
Oh.
it was given to you by Millmore from his
Oh, I see.
actual stash as
Yeah.
payment, because you probably wouldn't be able to use the stuff that he collected from the blah-de-blah-de-blah.
Okay, but okay. All right. We tell them what we think, because
Well, the only thing of particular note was particular peculiarity would be the book, actually.
and not to forget the boat.
I am the boat.
Yes, the big boat itself, which was very
Yes.
impressive.
And a large coffin belonging to, I assume, a storm giant.
I see. So you don't think there's any chance that it was cursed?
Oh.
Every chance that it is cursed. The point is that quite a bit of the gold, I think, that was on the boat actually came from the first dig site. I'm pretty sure the treasure we got from the ship went straight to Hazardril, Gudael, and Milmore Glass. I think the ones that were on the boat were likely from the first dig site.
They for the boats they collected the best pieces. So definitely some of the gold was on there because of Mithun Matter, of course. But some of the more potent magical items were definitely on that boat.
There is every chance it got cursed.
There's every chance that's cast.
There's every chance that there's at least one item in there that is probably shouldn't be touched.
God, I hope that book's not fucking in that boat.
It shouldn't be. I'm pretty sure. I thought the daughters of Twilight locked it away.
Yes,
Doesn't
we did give that to the daughters.
True, but does anything about that book make sense to you?
No.
Well, I
Just in case.
haven't studied it as in depth as Mr. Edren has, so I wouldn't know.
It's just a thought. I mean, it was making gold disappear, so who knows?
Yes. I'm sure if it came up on the transcript of what was on the boat, I'm sure Maith would know by now if it was still on the treasure boat.
Yes, good point.
Anything of particular note on the boat, Maith? We've not quite had the chance to itemize everything.
Some curious items indeed.
No big scary book.
No book, not like the one you described, no.
Nothing.
Good.
Or the crown.
There was a crown.
Yes. Well, hang on. What did it look like on the ship?
He describes the crown of ire.
Okay, that's the one.
There are items on your boat that are from the dawn of history. Things that have been mentioned in books. Things that have been passed down for thousands of years in lore.
Well, yes, Vaingate was built atop a giant's tomb. The tomb of giants, I should say.
In a giant city.
Yeah, well, yes.
Yes, I have the impression that you have visited the necropolis of the giants, but there is a lot more there to explore.
Hmm.
The Underdark extends a long way. As you've become aware, there is even an entrance to it here.
Well, yes. Would they be completely connected, or would they be different?
Likely to be connected,
Oh, yes.
but very distantly connected. Which brings us to our next point. What is it that you five intend to do from here?
Well, I have a plan for myself to start doing in Vaingate with whatever money I get.
Well, I do not think Vaingate is presently safe for any of you.
Oh, I'm not going back there yet. but I have a plan for it.
I see.
But your lordship means more presently.
I plan to move on to the next job that you give me.
Well, yes, whatever you would deem
But
the
I think
appropriate course of action.
Well, I think it has been proven to us all that you 5 work considerably well as a team. Bragan himself noted how Milford and Adrik moved together almost as one. That first maneuver that you delivered to him almost had him when you leapt across Adric's body and off his shield. So
he is a fine combatant, my lord.
But as a unit, you work together well. So my suggestion then, what I should like to see, is that you put some time into thinking what would be perhaps 3 or 4 different plans, and then we can vote upon them with the Council of the Fox at hand. Make us some proposals.
That sounds reasonable. We've got several options ahead of us, friends.
Yes. And I shall for now retire and leave you to think.
Maith, if I may have a moment of your time in confidence.
Yes, my Banakayan friend.
And I toddle a little bit away from the rest of the group with Maith. Out of curiosity, how close are we to Abnog Gur? If you know, I mean, it's 6 of it. Who knows?
From the surface of Sidarhael Adrik Fogdar, Abnog Gur is of equidistance at any point on the surface. It is so deep within the earth that from any place that you could find an entrance, you would travel an equal amount of distance to Abnog Gur.
Sneaky elves. The drow, not you guys. You're lovely.
The drow, yes, they're a concern.
Well, I'm sure I'll be concerning for them sooner or
I
later.
sense they're in league with the goblins here. I should like to see them vanquished.
Well, I can arrange that.
Very well.
Thank you for your time.
Add that to your list.
Adrik pulls out his tiny book that has his little sayings and kill the goblins, not a problem.
Right. Okay, so he disappears, leaving you guys alone.
Okay. Well, that's been done, isn't it? That's solved all our problems.
Lovely, easy, everybody wins.
Well,
Oh,
yes.
okay. Now we got to clear out this. What's the name? Don't you think?
The goblins.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Let's clear them out.
That way we get closer to your goal, my friend.
Aye.
Yes. Do we
Well-
need to sort out the gold first, or are we doing that after we prove
No,
ourselves
we've got
again?
We've got to clear this place out, and once we clear it out, we can put the gold into it. You know.
Goblins,
Ah.
gold,
Right.
back in goblin hole.
And then we ask that Maith and Bragan set guard on the treasure as to wherever it may be. Put some sort of.
It's going to be
And-
like a place to store. You know,
Yes.
it's like they're saving up the money. I wish there was a name for it.
A vault.
Yeah, like a vault, but they're going to borrow from it every so often.
And well, that sounds interesting.
It needs a name. We need to give it a name when someone borrows money from you and kind of gives back and borrows money.
We'll think of something once we get the boat off the bank.
We could do that as a business, you know. People could borrow money from us. and we could put interest on the money, and that way
That's
That's a
gain
clever
money.
idea.
Yeah, that's an idea.
we
The-
could swear we
the,
have
um,
snappy suits and look like we know what we're talking about.
The Daughters
All
of
this-
Twilight already do this, by the way. They have a monopoly on banking.
But banks do exist.
Of course
We
they
shall
do.
call it a monopoly then.
They don't call it they don't call it banking. They just do it all very much sort of on a face to face kind of thing. You know, you want money, we'll lend it to you. You know, you want to give
Let's
them
start
money,
a
they'll look
lending
after it.
organization. Yes.
Competition for the daughters.
Why not?
I'm sure. I'm
Other
sure they'll be
kingdoms
fine.
and kingdoms and sovereigns do this too. To be fair, and other churches also do this.
Oh, you're just ruining our idea
The,
now.
the
Go
Daughters
away.
of
No.
Twilight are among the biggest organizations that do this, though, and they have.
We'll have the first truly independent loaning organization.
That's right.
We'll call it Bastards Inc.
Bastards Bank.
Why do we
Bastards
bother?
Bank.
I'm not
I like
sure.
what you said about the boat on the bank. There was something that I just don't. I don't know. I thought it was quite clever. I thought we could use something like that.
Bank of the
So-
bank of boats,
We've got to get our act together now,
Something
team.
done. I like that.
boating bank, boat.
No, anything get out of the first time, Leith. Bank of boats. No, I'm
Would
into
you
it.
two shut up, would you?
All right,
Now
all right.
listen. We need to start doing this thing. How are we going to go about it?
Well, where are the goblins? First of all,
Well,
we'll
well,
probably find out where
have
they
an
are.
idea. Well, if you're going to tell us to shut up, Milford, then perhaps you have
You
an
can
idea.
talk now, all right?
We
That's
should
just
find out where these
confusing.
goblins
Have a
are.
solution.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Find the goblins,
Find the goblins.
bash their heads in,
bash
grab the
their
gold.
heads in.
put it in Goblin Hole, get some protection, and then find a next step.
But isn't that the same way we do everything?
Basically.
I've never killed a goblin.
Oh no, I have. Have I killed a goblin? I can't remember.
You probably have
Anyway.
not killed a goblin.
Anyway, come on. But I'll tell him a story in which I do. Okay. Come on, you lot.
Yes, but
Didn't
those
they-
are just your stories, Milford.
Should we ask where they are rather than just scouting the island? Should we
No,
ask?
let's scout the entire island.
We're gonna comb every tree.
All right.
Gentlemen, did Maith not want us to come up with 4 options for our next step?
Oh, I think that's post the goblins.
It's
Like,
post goblins.
If we're
Oh,
going
post-
to,
Let us do goblins first and then come up with brilliant ideas, because I've got a couple. And I was thinking about letting you lot join me.
Well, I
very
think
kind of you.
I think the idea of going down and scoping out what the goblins have wrought out for themselves in the entrance is probably a good start.
I agree. See, that's why I like him. He's got all the brains.
Russell, out of curiosity, how many hours has it been since the fight with the Albies?
Probably 4 or 5 hours by now.
Wicked, so 4 times 15. I'm back at full health. Full health.
How does that work?
Because I have the Ioun Stone of Regeneration. I gain 15 hit points every hour.
Nice. Damn.
Oh
Damn.
yes, did we want to go deal with the goblins?
Should have.
Because if it's been 4 hours since we fought
5
the
hours,
owls, and
I
it was
mean.
roughly 4 o'clock when we started, it's 8 o'clock at night. Do we want to go deal with these things, these
On the
goblins?
morn.
Well, yes,
Or in
maybe
the
save
morn.
it till morning.
We'll do it in the morning.
Right.
I mean, it's going to make very little
Because
difference.
Gudael's looking a bit tired. Look, she's looking a bit tired.
I don't blame her.
It's
Hey,
been
Brixton, how was your near-death experience?
Oh, you mean my
Again.
second near-death experience?
Might actually be your third. I think the Shasuva knocked you down at one
Well,
point.
every time I end up, believe it or not, I end up in Vaingate. There's this place that looks exactly like Vaingate. You just tell me when to stop, boss. But it's kind of different, you know. But it's the same.
That
I
sounds like
haven't met
hell.
myself yet. And that's probably why it needs help, because I'm not there to help it, you see.
Well, we can't let that place have you just yet, Brixton.
But I don't think it was on fire or anything like that. I can't remember.
Then I'm sure it's fine. Doesn't need you yet. This Vaingate probably needs you a bit sooner. So you can't go. Not allowed.
All right then. From
Nice.
from your rather large ears to, the lady upstairs. Yeah. Okay. What
Right,
are we
bedtime.
doing?
Bedtime. Everybody, go to bed.
Yes. Yes.
Dad. Okay,
Alright.
and they basically,
You all go and have a bit of a sleep, huh?
yeah.
Yes, although
Then we-
Edren is actually unable to fall asleep.
I'm. Well,
Well, so is Leith, but
I'm going to give you this to deal
Different
with
story.
too, because over this particular rest, you level up to level 5.
Huzzah!
yay!
Huzzah.
And so, however you want to tie that into your personal stories, that's up to you. So, Edren, if you can't sleep because you're restless, you'll have to justify leveling up as well. So, enjoy.
I don't know if it would- Yes.
I'm sure you'll find a way.
In his dreams, Adrik gets inspired to hit twice in the 6 seconds.
I've got a level 5 Milford already. Do I just cross to
Oh, are
him?
we doing it?
No, we're going to level up this character because they have different shit on them.
Okay.
And that character has
Different
also been
shit
deleted,
on
I think.
things.
No, he's still there.
Is he? Well, we're going to delete him now.
Okay. Well, can you come over and have a look at delete him?
Yep, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I will do that, yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
I get a new Pact of the
Okay.
Tome feature.
Oh dear. What have I gotten myself into now?
His book has learned to eat things.
So between you, you've got 25 levels. Oh my god. What have I done?
30?
Right, so we're doing this right now.
Oh, 25, no. What?
No, you're not doing this.
This time tonight.
This is end of stream.
Okay.
We're going
Oh.
going to rest now and say goodbye to all of our lovely viewers,
Thank
the
you.
present ones
Thank
and
you
and
for
future
watching.
ones that watch this
Thank you,
on.
friends.
Yes, thank you, friends, and yeah, adios, good night, and thank you for playing
Good night.
We'll see you
Bye.
next
Good
week
night, everybody.
on the Vaingate
night.
Chronicles. Dun 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 dun.